Tabs. I'm the host. I'm joined with Almbrag on the analyst desk as well. I've also got Dum Tum here also on the analyst desk. Welcome, boys. It's morning. I'm still asleep. Hopefully you boys are awake. You slept good?
Is it morning? Is 1:45 morning still in England? Is that how it works?
It's dreadful morning for me. Anyways, please tell me you slept better than I did.
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah. It's going to be an exciting day of TF2.
Well, I mean, maybe it's just because I'm stuck a little bit into the past, and it's because I want to talk about the previous stage just a little bit. I mean, not everybody's caught wind of everything that's going on that stream from yesterday. Sometimes maybe they just tune into this final day. So we've actually got a quick little video just to remind you of like what sort of things were going down and what you've missed yesterday and what you can maybe expect to come into this day 3.
But now, they are getting the exact opportunity that they needed. They're leaving one player to cap as Alien runs into last. He's taking this 1v1 against Adelos. It's not going to work out. Moolah now going for some desperate swords. All the rest
but the players are coming back in.
Themselves into last. Carnax just needs to...
No way! What is it with Granary and I-Series?
Oh my
god! Oh my god!
Unless he hits an astonishing amount of revolver shots, he's not going to be doing much. Yite also dying. That makes sense. Oh my god!
Oh no! Jay takes down Seeds with the revolver! Just walks in and shoots them! And they're all straight in. The Ubercharge pops off immediately. 4 frags already for Ascent NA. Klausy getting taken down by bot mode as well. That's the round, that's the map for Ascent NA.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay. I know they were a bit cruel putting the words on the screen there, but I mean, you're not eliminated in my... Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to the analyst desk. Boy, that was a lot of just exciting moments that we had yesterday, and we've really got 2 perspectives on it. Not only have we got someone that's been watching all the games, we've got some people that have been playing the games as well. So, Dum Tum, is there anything that sticks out in your mind after a good night's sleep that still remains with you watching all those games yesterday?
I mean, at the end of the day, every single game at the top was just still incredibly close. Ascent NA came out on top, and it will give them a notable advantage in the Grand Finals, but at the end of the day, with how close every game was they've been playing, it's still going to be tough for them. They will take this advantage, hopefully all the way they can use it with.
Now, Umbrak, I know you like a bit of casting a bit ahead of the playing, but you did a lot of playing yesterday. What was it like playing in a tournament like I-Series this year?
It's always fun because the more the tournament goes on, you have the high stakes games, and it's funny because on the first day maybe you can have a bad day, maybe you can have a good day, and then it's double elim, and everything that happened on the first day doesn't matter anymore, because then if you lose, you're out of the tournament, and for some people it's a lot of added pressure. You crumble under the pressure, and for other people you just strive under the pressure, and those games are just, I feel like yesterday it was packed with incredible games, both on stream and off streams. There are things that you haven't seen, but that was completely crazy.
I know. I heard the rumors. I heard that you almost knocked out Ascent.eu yourselves. Boy, we wouldn't know what to do if we didn't have our buddy Umbrak on the analyst desk. It means we'd have to get hands on here. Oh, anyway. So hopefully we don't have to think about that timeline, because we're in this timeline now. It means that we're going to be going into our continuation of the low bracket run, which I think our next game we're going to be following is Feint Gaming versus Ascent.eu. And hopefully we'll get the dream, boys, and all Ascent final. Let's hope. Let's hope. So before we can get into the nitty-gritty and the details of that, though, we'll probably head it over to an ad. We'll have a quick little bumper, and then we'll officially start things, just to kind of keep things nice and tidy. Don't go away.
Turbo, that guy, this cow, it looked really good. Is that Banny?
No, Banny's going to be here any second now.
Okay.
I promise. Okay, but welcome to a new day. Welcome to a new dawn. It is still Itober times. It's still Umbrak, and it's still Tum, and we're here, boys. We're actually officially into day 3 now. We're continuing that low bracket. I believe it's round 6, maybe 5. The numbers alert me. All I know, it's like the semi-final, basically, where this team will decide who gets to play against 7 in that lower bracket final. And I mean, it's just the 2 EU bigwigs, really, that are kind of left remnanting, kind of usually chopping at the heels at 7. So I couldn't think of anything more appropriate right now than these 2 teams kind of facing off. And I mean, just to kind of remind you, I've got some new gadgets. I've got some new toys here on the stream as well. New day, new dawn, and new playthings. Look, see, I can even get the logs up on there. Fancy. So just to remind you, boys, 7 were knocked down. So whoever's going into this next game is going to feel very comfortable, actually, kind of almost used to their next opponent. So, but it kind of also segues into the same point that they've seen a lot of each other going into this very same match as well. Feint Gaming and Ascent.eu are no strangers to one another, are they, Umbrak?
Yeah, it feels like it's a game we've seen before. So I don't know if the result we can expect it, but it has some European vibe, really strong one, all the way up to the grand finals. Then it's gonna be like there's gonna be 7 on the way for whoever wins this. And I don't know, it's really, it feels like a EU LAN, and the grand prize is to play against America for some reason. And I don't know if is that a grand prize. I don't know, but regardless, it's gonna be an exciting game. And I don't know, like whoever thinks that we've seen that game online, we know how it's going to happen, they don't get LAN at all, because at LAN everything is different.
Now, Dum Tum, you strike me as a guy with your ear to the ground. You've probably been paying attention to what the players were doing after the cameras were put away and the lights were turned off and so many eyes weren't put on them. Were teams being good? Were they going straight to bed? Were they doing their homework? Or did a few of those players hit the bar? Yeah, see, I knew it. You got something.
Rumor has it that Ascent and specifically Polygon might have stayed up a little bit too much and, you know, maybe drunk a little bit too much. Who knows? But end result is they obviously know that they have to play a game here. So as long as they can get over it as quickly as possible, how possible that might be for them, then we just have to hope they can perform to the best of their abilities, and we'll see how that goes. As for how that will play out for the game itself, it's interesting to see. I think they have like a 2-2 lifetime record at the moment, including the game from the other day they played. So it's still a fairly close matchup. And it should be really interesting because Feint did overall, I think, play stronger this tournament than Ascent EU. And I think Ombrick, obviously, having just played them yesterday in a really close game, would probably know a bit more about that, seeing as you had this really close game that no one really expected, neither yourself for that matter. And like, what are some of the things that you feel like they could have done better, maybe things that they improved over the course of your game against them?
I feel like, yeah, it's gonna. You're right. Like, I feel like Feint is stronger right now than Ascent. And it feels like there's a lot of... You mentioned all the dream about the all Ascent finals, and I wonder if that's not some extra pressure that Ascent EU could do without. So thank you, Tabletop. If they lose, it's because of you. But yeah, do they have that pressure to go into the finals? That sometimes it makes you play better, but sometimes you feel that pressure, and it's harder to move your mouse around and stuff like that. And they need to improve. I don't know how much they're confident going into that game, but I think the main thing they had to get better at is trying to not rush things. Like, sometimes you're losing, but it's 25 minutes left. It's not 5 minutes. You still have time to lay out your game plan and do things, take your time. And I feel like maybe Ascent against Top 5 Sun yesterday, maybe they rushed things a bit too much at some point. Because if you're the better team, you don't have to rush things. You can just take your time, and eventually it's going to pay off. And I think that's why they struggled a bit yesterday. But I feel like Amps is a really experienced player at LAN, and he knows that kind of things. And I'm fairly confident that he has identified his mistakes.
Now, boys, I'm not usually on the morning shift. Xsign is usually taking this place, but there's not many times I get to talk about what's better time to play TF2. Would you rather play it in the morning? Would you rather play it in the evening? Like, is a more scarier time for upsets, would you say? Like, Ombrick? I mean, you've been there.
I don't think there's a better... Like, at Insomnia, we're playing pretty much in the dark all the time, so it's pretty much as if you were playing in your room, and you kind of lose track of time. You don't really know, is it morning, is it night, is the sun shining outside? So I don't really know. I think the main thing is depend how long have you been up before the game. You mentioned how Polygon had maybe a rough night, so if you just woken up, maybe it's going to be a bit tough for me to get into the game in the first few minutes. But I think there's no ideal times to play, like whether it's night or day. I don't think that's what matters. It matters a bit, but I think maps matter more than time.
Oh wow, maps matter more. I never thought I'd hear the day. Anyway, Dum Tum, it sounds like Feint Gaming have every advantage to them. They were already the established team at the start. They already went to bed earlier. The Polygon is, absolutely wrecked, and they just seem to be the better team that's adapting. Like, what has got Ascent.eu have on their side to actually take against Feint Gaming?
Sometimes they just have these moments, right, where they just completely pop off, where everything works perfectly. That's what they want to have happen to them. That's like the perfect plan every single time. They just want to execute everything perfectly. The way they play is obviously just doing that is really, really hard on everybody. I think the way they play the game, they make it the hardest on themselves to play the way they want to play compared to every other team. Which isn't to say that whatever the other teams are doing is easy necessarily, but Ascent EU is picking the hard road very much on purpose, because if it's working all the way. They're just like dominating games if they're performing well. They need some of that. They just need to find the magic today, and it's especially on Amps as much as on everybody else to just find the right moments to go for the crazy plays they're known for.
Now, boys, this isn't just about Ascent EU versus Feint Gaming. It's also NA versus EU. We also, in a way, have to elect our champion between these three teams, and obviously Seven get that bump up because they only lost in that upper bracket. But who do you feel more comfortable actually taking on the mantle of taking on the giant NA giants?
So I was talking to Fang Gaming a bit earlier, and Seeds was talking to me and said that the only team he struggled against as an individual was Ascent NA because of their playstyle. So maybe Seeds and to some extent Feint isn't the best suited, but we've seen that they played against each other yesterday, and it was an extremely close game, and it took everything out of Ascent NA to win that map, that series even. So I will still give an edge to 7 because it's 7. They know they have been there before. But if we're just looking at this game, I would say Feint.
Quickly, Tom, who would you elect as your champion if you could just push them straight into the grand final?
I think as long as somebody wins this match very convincingly, they have a really good shot to make it all the way to grand finals and win it. If this match ends up really close, I think it would have to go to 7 with how well they already performed over the course of this tournament.
All right, well, it means our game's going to be starting very shortly, so before we do that, we should probably introduce our casters. They're going to be ready, waking, and they're going to be screaming. It's going to be Cerny, it's going to be Bum. How's it going, boys? Are you ready?
Hi, boys. Welcome to this wonderful game. Hi, Bum. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm very excited for this one. Ascent and Feint, the two teams who have been battling it out to try and beat 7 really in this European league so far. Feint looking a lot stronger this LAN, as our analysts said. Ascent have been losing to kind of these, well, not losing, they've been having very close games. They've been struggling, kind of not finding their footing at LAN so far, struggling against big boy season, teams like Top 5 with Omrak, of course, on it. These are teams that they should theoretically be disposing of quite easily as the second place team in the regular season that we just saw. But another thing to talk about is how these two teams match up with each other, because there's kind of a rock, paper, scissors going on in Europe at the moment, where Feint beat 7, 7 beat Ascent, but Ascent always managed to beat Feint.
Somehow, yeah.
I was talking to Seeds about it. He says that they think this is their 6th time playing a best of 3 against this roster, as whether they were Feint or Swift. And do you know how many of those that they've won, Cerny?
I haven't been keeping that much track, but I don't think any of them.
Yeah, it was actually 0, he says. So they are going to be trying to take their first win against Ascent. I'm not sure how they're going to try and do it. I don't know if they've got any tricks up their sleeves in particular, or if they're just going to try and play their game again and see how it goes.
Maybe they just have a good day, you never know. You know, it always boils down to, on LAN, it always boils down to, are you having a good day? Are you up in your game? Are you having a good mental space? Whatever. We heard that apparently Polly had a little bit of a rough night, so you never know.
I think Seeds had a very rough night too. When I went over to see him last night, he was drinking away the pain. He had on his monitor, he had paused the frame of the Twitch clip where he got body shot at the end of that Ascent NA game. He was just staring at it, looking absolutely depressed. I went off, talked to some other people for half an hour. I came back and he was still playing it in 10% speed, just watching himself die.
Trying to figure out, why did I do this? Why did I make this horrible mistake? I mean, at least maybe he's learning. You never know.
Yeah, it happens, things like that happen, and Seeds is definitely going to be able to get over it.
Hopefully.
Looks like we have teams readying up, so we should be ready to bring you this soon. Ascent versus Feint. If you had to make a prediction, Cerny, given the matchup, obviously between them, Ascent always coming out on top, but Feint looking stronger at this LAN, who would you say is going to take the first map?
I mean, the first map is Process. Process can go either way, but traditionally I do think Ascent have a little bit of an upper hand on it. That being said, I believe we are getting started very soon.
Yeah.
Headed into this wonderful first map of Process in the lower bracket semifinals for the 4th place, essentially, as the teams are hitting it off on the first mid-fight here, seeing what they can do to not be the 4th place and to actually move on in phase 7. Both teams being pretty slow at the start, again, not taking any risks immediately. Credit Sniper to mid, though, immediately. Something Ascent whipping out here, the gimmicks that we like to see. Credit also having a lot of angles, does not manage to hit Seed's head, though, does not connect it quite yet. Has a lot of ground to work with. And Polygon is actually going to be taken down first by Lucas's spam there. Doma also following up with his own death, and that's going to be Ascent having to back out.
Feint are absolutely rolling forwards, though. They're trying to get all of these frags. Credu going down. Connor's all alone on last, getting chased down. Gink bombing onto him. Connor's giving him the jukes, though.
Is he going to
around the
die?
last point. It's a nice surf from Connor, but he does get cleaned up by Gink in the end.
The Uber did come in.
TYs on second in the meantime, so it's not that bad that Connor died. Seeds will have a slight advantage, but won't be too big. That mid was really interesting.
I mean, the Credu sniper to mid immediately on the first round probably caught Feint off guard a little bit, but they played around it correctly. They didn't really peek, and they obviously shut him down eventually, just bummed him out, made sure that he doesn't get any shots off anymore.
They switched
Who knows?
Zebasai onto Scout, obviously. Players, teams prefer to have 2 Scouts, while they have snipers nowadays with how strong Scouts are at the moment.
Absolutely.
But that left them with only 1 soldier, Polygon on middle, being the only person who could really bomb forwards to create space, and that never happened on the mid. So they were all kind of just stuck around their choke with the sniper and just got pushed forwards. But now Lucas knows he has this ad. He's bombing forwards, gets the sentry gun down, but all of Ascent are juking this Uber really well. They're over on the left-hand side. Pappy going forwards, trying to get the damage in. He gets Domo down. That's a really great pick for last. But now Thomas play the point, but they are all getting mulched, as you said, by this heavy. Credu has been playing his Kovacs. He's tracking everyone down.
The hard aim theory, it always works. Yeah, that's just a very nice hold by Ascent there. They essentially bait Feint into the sentry and just all stand extremely far away from the Uber, and just they couldn't really achieve much after that Feint. That being said, Thomas is in the forward spawn on Sniper, seeing if he can maybe get a little bit of a cheeky snipe here as Ascent want to make their way into the mid. They do have that Uber, and he does get the shot onto Domo. Very good opening frag there. Definitely going to slow down Ascent. They might not pop yet.
Yeah,
they're going to be
as well, and Ascent know that they just have to keep everyone else alive. That's a really nice play from the sniper there. Red now losing their overcharge advantage. Ascent have to let Seeds build this up. Now Thomas getting an angle into Sewer. Lucas is opening the door for him, letting him take the space. And Connor's caught there. The sniper's watching him down, so he has to pop. Amps manages to get the frag onto Thomas, and Connor's surf right up into the skybox by Lucas. Connor actually gets out. That was a great surf.
Yeah, Feint had to respond with their own Uber as well, and they look like they might be able to not take second here. No, never mind. Ascent will be holding on. The frags are falling in their favor, and Feint have to back off. They're actually going to be able to hold on to the second point for the time being, but we'll have to see how long. Equal Ubers roughly now. Credu down on the side of Ascent. Pappy now coming up on the side of Feint here. And the sniper plays working out for a bit, but then Thomas just didn't hit the next few shots afterwards, and essentially they were a player down trying to do that push, which is not something you want when you're trying to push.
Yeah, absolutely. Connor's still in position in case Feint have a sniper, keeping himself covered up. But it's Ascent themselves that now have the sniper. Credu taking a peek into middle. Doesn't manage to get the shot onto Happy Coolness there. Nope. Gets another attempt on Gink.
Really looking for it. He's looking for it. He's getting cheesy now. He wants to really get a kill here and to make something happen. Pappy trying to pressure him out immediately, making sure that doesn't just yet happen. And the Uber actually comes in from Seeds. Connor obviously responding with a pop of his own, and people just getting flashed left, right, and center. Pretty much a very null exchange. Nothing happened. Except for a little bit of reshuffling positioning. Credu is still trying to snipe through choke here, a little bit more passively now, seeing if he can just connect a shot onto a head here. If he gets a frag here, that's essentially just a huge window for Ascent to finally get in here and maybe make something happen. And Feint obviously playing very, very passively on mid, not want to take any risks at all. They do not want to get a shot in the head.
Yeah, Seeds is in the safest possible position he can be in, unless Credu somehow runs all the way through choke and hits the best shot of a lifetime. There's no way he's getting onto Seeds here. Lucas also being very careful around the choke, trying not to show his head for any longer than he needs to. Both teams now getting their Uber up, fully built even, if I can speak English.
What's English? How does the English language work? I don't know. That being said, Credu still looking for some angles here. A little bit more aggression from Feint as well on choke there. A little bit of poking forward by Gink there, I believe, or Pappy in Sewer. and just both teams just scouting out each other, essentially, just looking who's going to mess up first, who's going to do the silly thing first, who's going to be the one to mess up. That. Oh, Credu's pretty far forward here, though, in Sewer. And Papi's actually in onto Connor. Does he actually, no, okay, he's not going to be able to clean him up, but a lot of damage has been done. And if there's any follow-up.
Connor with the disrespect on Papi, not using that, knows he can juke him out.
Didn't die.
Looks like they're not going to send a counter-sack while they have Credu up on Sniper. That would leave them with basically 4 useful players, and Feint could really take the fight to them if they did that. So Credu's going to get into Sewer again. He's going to have the door open for him.
Ooh, does not quite get the shot off, and Feint immediately re-aggressing, just pressuring everybody out of Sewer, making sure that Credu does not even get a chance for another shot here. And I really think Ascender just banking everything on Credu right now. Ooh. He does not get anybody, unfortunately. A little bit of damage done. I think Papi, like, this is just the strategies the two teams have right now. Ascent is just, like, waiting for Credu to hit something, and Feint, knowing that, they just keep sending in a soldier every single time. Ooh, Ems actually goes down to a trap by Lucas there, and Credu is far forward in IT. Does hit a body shot onto Gink, does not clean him up, though. And it's just a reset again. Both teams losing a player, essentially. Feint actually moving forward a little bit through choke now, maybe.
Yeah, they're just trying to clear the stickies, trying to put some spam onto these players. Any pressure would do once they get a bit of damage. Obviously, it's
he cleans up Thomas.
Which is actually exactly what they do, even though they just lost Thomas. So this could be 2 down for Feint, and it is. So now Ascent going to be looking to move forwards here. Even with their sniper, they're confident taking this fight. Amps and Domo in the choke going to lead this one forwards.
They're going to be using all of their resources here. They do pop off seeds very early. Connor responding with his own Uber eventually. Obviously having a little bit of a better Uber here as well. And Feint just having to back off. They have way less positioning. Gink getting taken down by Credu again. He's at least hitting the body shots. You know, we don't need the headshot if you can hit the body shot. Zebo also getting cleaned up there. And Thomas now finally falling. Credu hits a headshot onto Papi there, I believe. Yes, and he gets cleaned up as well, and this is going to be a midpoint falling into favor of Ascent.
And it looks like it could be a wipe. If Ams decides to chase her, it could be dangerous, but the spawns are in from Gink. He's going to put the pressure on, trying to keep them from chasing, keep Seeds alive here, which he will manage. Oh, Gink does get sniped in return, but
Gink is warmed up now.
Lucas have stayed alive for last.
Credu's taking a little while. He's warmed up now. He's hitting some shots now. I think really that's what also helped. Like, he's been cleaning up a lot of damage, but he's also been dealing a lot, and people have been able to really go off the back of that.
Lucas has put the sneakiest trap in the lobby right now. It's inside one of these computers in the lobby. I didn't even know you could put stickies there.
Yeah, you can.
I think he's trying to take an angle onto him.
Credu just really trying to go forward into lobby here, seeing if he can make something happen. Classy on the response sniper right now as well, seeing if he can maybe win the duel.
Lucas's trap is right next to him right now. He's not figured it out. Maybe Lucas is waiting to bait a more important player into it than the sniper. He's just taunting to try and see around the corner at the moment, see if anyone's walking into it. Obviously, you get third person when you default, so
both snipers.
A little bit of bonus information around the corner.
It's just both snipers just staring each other down, looking who's got the better point-and-click abilities right now. It's gonna be Classy for now. He does take down Credu there. That's no sniper on the side of Ascent, and that means that Feint can be a little bit more aggressive with their peeking and their sight lines. Classy obviously going to be trying to go forward and get another shot off as well, potentially. Ascent aware of that. They do lose Zebo, though. Classy now finding his stride, hitting a few shots here, cleaning up a few of these Ascent players, and those two opening frags, those might be enough for Feint to move forward here.
Yeah, Papi's moving it forwards, and he's straight up to Connor. That's a very easy force for Papi. All of Ascent now have to run away as Feint have their full Uber still alive. Credu still on the sniper, respawning on that class to see if he can get one clutch play to stop this push out from Feint, which will be imminent as soon as Papi respawns.
Yeah, he's also just poking forward again a little bit, seeing he really wants this shot. He really wants this shot onto Seed specifically. But obviously Seeds is going to be aware of that and going to be playing it carefully. And yeah, they pop in very early from lower lobby. Lucas on immediately onto Ams, onto the choke. And the rest of the team are going to be following up. Papi actually fighting and losing against Zebo in the lobby there. They do trade eventually. And yeah, Feint are going to be taking second off the back of that Uber. But it's not necessarily a great one.
Yeah, it didn't seem like they really needed to Uber out there at all with how far back Ascent were, but Ascent really just failed to get out, and all the frags went Faint's way anyway. Polygon also bombed the point during the Uber and just got cleaned up very easily. Could have easily jumped out and stayed alive on mid, but now Connor getting his full Uber up.
They're going to be trying to respond here as they make their way forward across mid again. Feint didn't even really get a chance to step onto the point for much, and Ascent already in their choke. This is the aggression we like to see from them. They Uber in immediately, just trying to pressure out all of these Feint players. Both Lucas and, I believe, Papi, yeah, caught up in the upper IT. They're getting cleaned up. They were just out of position, and unfortunately, that's them down. That's 2 players down for last, and you just have Ascent already moving forward as well, looking to get into last here. Zebo running forward, taking this 1v1 with Gink, does not manage to take him down. And Am's actually getting cleaned up by Classic. He's just in!
On second, oh,
he actually gets Connor! Oh my god, that's huge. He cleans up Zebo too, he's still alive, he's still going. He's still wreaking havoc. Doing so much damage. Poly gets taken down by Seeds. He takes down Credu as well. He's doing his best quad impression with a pistol right now. Just seeing how many hits he can get.
Lucas bombing all the way into mid to take down Domo as well. This is everything going right for Feint right now. They're taking all of the frags for them. And now Am's also caught out in mid. Tomas has no respect. He's running in onto Zebo. He wants that Connor frag, but the forward spawns come in. He knows better than to chase down there. So
they have the ad. They can play the ad here. That's fine. Credu in the forward spawn, obviously looking to see if he can get a cheeky shot off. As Feint already making their way forward onto the second point and going to be pressuring Credu out, making sure he doesn't do anything. And he's off the sniper for probably the first time in this godforsaken round. He's actually playing a different class for once, so that's quite something. Feint going to be Ubering in immediately, taking down that level 1 sentry that wasn't even built up yet, and taking this right-hand side. Again, Ascent up on the left though, all bunched up, but far away from the Uber. Ams and Domo getting cleaned up finally, but they've already lost Tomas as well on Son of Fate, and so does Papi die here. Credu's up on the Putus. He's got 17 HP though. If Cassie can just clean him up here, or somebody else, this case it was Gink, that's going to be enough for the first round for Feint here.
Yeah, Gink doing a good job taking down that heavy at the end there, just juking back and forth around the pillar. Everything going Feint's way after that last hold. Even with Lucas and Papi down, they managed to hold last just from delaying with their Uber and the 2 scouts.
It worked out.
Classy just really popping off that round, helped them push it all the way back, and now we have to mid. Credu's on sniper once again. Will they be able to take more space this time?
He's really trying to make that sniper happen. He wants to get warmed up probably for the finals or whatever. He wants to be ready for later today. That being said, he is getting bombed by Gink though. Gink taking him down immediately, making sure that that sniper is out of the equation. Poly also getting taken down by Lucas, and immediately the frags look to be falling in the favor of Feint here, as Domo is also dead. And no demo means, I mean, they also lost Lucas on the side of Feint, but no demo means you're basically lost, especially if you have less players in general. So that's going to be a mid going to favor of Feint, but both medics do stay alive, so we're going to have an equal Uber situation.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much lost after Polygon's bomb fails. They're really the only person able to make a play there when they swap them side scout like this. So Polygon's bomb getting denied just really meant they had no space on the middle at all, and all they had to do was not get headshot by Credu. Credu's still staying on the sniper because Zebasai didn't die, so Zebasai had no opportunity to switch back. So we're going to see the Gink sniper as well. He loves to play it on process.
The Gink response. Oh, he hits Credu as well, wins that 1v1. That's a Kovacs moment if I've ever seen one. And he's going to be looking if he can get more another body shot onto Poly there, getting him pretty low, seeing if he can hit a few more shots. Ascent now pretty caught out of position. They're all bunched up on the point. They have to Uber because they get just getting bombed and spammed out. And that's a very bad Uber for Connor, because Seeds can just pop way later, and that's gonna be Connor dying immediately. Poly getting cleaned up by Gink as well, and the frags are probably gonna be falling in favor of Feint here soon. Lucas does get taken down though, and Gink looking to get maybe a few more cleanup shots here. Not quite, but Feint will be taking second, even if not very confidently.
Yeah, with no heals, you don't want to be caught in second any longer than you have to be. Seed's getting a small advantage. Tomas is just going to open the door for Gink, ease him forwards, check for stickies and that sort of thing. He is about to peek onto Connor up top, but Connor's nice and safe inside that panic room area.
He's going to settle for Poly instead then. That's fine. It's still a target to hit. Seeing if you can maybe get a shot onto Domo or someone else instead that's actually moving in his sight lines here. He's being very cheeky, but this is what Credu's been doing, so why not try it yourself?
Well, they're taking lobby already. They know they have this 50% ad. Seeds getting ready to use in onto Lucas and Pappy, taking down the sentry very quickly. Will they be able to get the frags on the left-hand side, though, as the entire Uber has been avoided by Ascent once again?
Just the same thing again. This is we've seen like the third time now. Ascent just over on the left side, the sentry on the right, Feint Ubering on the right, taking on the sentry early, but then the rest of the team's just on the left. Nice air shot onto Lucas there by Domo, actually, juggling him. Gink getting a headshot onto Credu. That's the heavy out of the equation, seeing if he can follow it up with a few more shots here. He really wants to get Connor, but Connor is not peeking.
And no one is with him, so he's just really pinned him down in that corner, but at the end of the day, they are going to get out with Connor having his Uber charge up and his respawners coming in. They don't want to fight on last there.
Oh, he gets a good shot onto Domo. Can he clean him up as well? Not quite. He does crater though.
Yes.
And that's going to be no demo.
It's the push entirely. Ascent going straight back to last.
Yeah, they're going to be having to back out here. Polly also going very, very low during all that, onto 4 HP before finally getting healed up here. And Gink immediately moving forward on the far right here. He gets the shot onto Connor. That's what he's been looking for the past 5 minutes. He finally gets it, and that's going to be Feint Ubering in immediately off of the back of that. Seeing if they can clean up all these frags. Ams and Zebasai already going down, so does Polly, and this is just going to be a matter of time until Domo dies, and the point is capped off by Feint for a 2-0 lead.
Yep, getting even more convincing for Feint. Maybe they finally could be beating their Ascent curse here. Going to be able to beat this roster for once. Thomas has been checking for this sniper at the start of every mid. He's been switching to spy in spawn and just checking if Credu has that sniper up, and they don't this time, so they opt to run Gink on sniper himself. They've been trying this yesterday as well. Both teams opting to do sniper mids on Process today.
It's a pretty good sniper map, so you can't blame the teams for giving it a try. You get a lot of sightlines here on mid, so you get an early pick with somebody that's being a little bit too aggressive. That is a very good thing to do. That being said, Ams is actually the first person to go down to some spam by Lucas, and the bomb by Zebasai comes in to try to pressure out Gink. He does not manage to do much though and gets killed instead. Credu also getting taken down, and the wraparound play, they're trying to just get out here. Ascent just, getting pressured out really, really hard. They just have to back off. Feint immediately, Lucas bombing in as he likes to do. Just so much pressure onto Ascent. They haven't even capped mid yet, and Feint are basically trying to roll into their last already. We've seen them do this many times as well at this LAN already.
Connor did save his Uber charge though, so they kind of want to contest second here as the Uber comes in onto Ams. Thomas gonna get flashed just at the last second by Seeds. A good save there, but he does drop Lucas instead, which is even worse. So now Ascent bombing forwards onto the point. Thomas is trying to get in behind. He does get Ams, but he's cleaned up very quickly. And all of Feint have to run away.
Unfortunately, that exchange just did not go their way. Gink is still up on the sniper as well. He's looking to get a very cheeky peek here. He's at the very, very far corner. And Ascent are not aware of his whereabouts just yet. They're actually on the point. If he can get this hero shot,
they have no idea.
He's gonna get behind
here. He's still in the enemy IT. If this medic comes back,
he actually gets it
down. Gink hiding behind on the sniper. Not the usual place for a sniper to be. You'd expect that to be a spy, but the off-classing works out for Gink, and he does take down Credu as well before getting cleaned up. So it's 2 down for Ascent, including their medic. No heals at all. Zebasai's super low. Feint gonna cap this up and roll forwards.
We do know that everything that Spy can do, Sniper just does better.
Yeah.
And it worked out. So that's a perfect example for that, why you should never pick Spy and should always go Sniper instead. That being said, Gink is actually not going to stay on the Sniper. He's finally going back to a good class, and a real class. And I would not be surprised if Feint immediately Ubering in, actually Thomas going deep into lobbies, looking to chase out Ascent here. The rest of the team following up as well. Zebo stuck behind in the rollout. Actually, Polly, never mind. And the matching loadouts really make this confusing sometimes. And they're just cleaning up the few stragglers here. Am's getting cleaned up, and Pappy actually getting taken down.
Second takes on Pappy as well.
They do hit Connor.
Yeah, Connor's down in this fight, so it's a 3v4, but with no heals on Ascent, all the damage on them will be permanent. Zebasai has to go back to resupply, and now Feint gonna re-push here, knowing that they can slow down this fight. Just play the heals, they'll be able to heal up, whereas Ascent will not. So Ascent all the way back to last, they're just letting Classy cap this up.
He'll be backing out again. We're having another reset here, but Seeds again, you know, with a pretty significant advantage now. I wouldn't be surprised again if we just see them using immediately as soon as they get. That's the Feint style. That's what they like to do. And they're going to be building it even faster just to make sure that they have that Uber as soon as possible. Credu back on the sniper as well, looking if he can maybe halt this push if it does happen. Maybe with an early nice headshot. Nope. Feint immediately aware, obviously going to be Ubering early. Credu opting to go snipe heavy instead. The Sentry getting taken down. Rest of Ascent though, really passive, not really letting themselves get caught in the Uber. Gink trying to get onto the medic there, not going to happen. Probably the only player dying on the side of Ascent, and Feint just have to back off.
Yep, they used the Uber into the right-hand side. There was absolutely nothing there. Ascent switching up their sentry position just to throw Feint's Ubers off a bit. They are now going to be pushing out Connor with his full advantage, just slowly taking care of stickies, checking out the hiding spots, all the usual. Don't want to make any mistakes at high stakes like this, so
yeah, no mistakes.
Coming into mid now. Ams and Domo just scouting it out.
Gink back on the sniper as well. He's in the forward spawn here, seeing if, he does get spotted out before he can get that shot onto Connor though. And I think that's just going to be him basically useless now. He's going to opt to back spawn instead.
Used off his Uber. Ascent have also used theirs off. They've kind of switched sides on this mid, both on enemy territory right now. It's a Lucas trade for Credu and Polygon at the moment, but also Zebside getting cleaned up means that Feint are going to try and crunch everyone. Damage here. Domo going down. If Tomas can get onto Ams here, he could be in with a chance of getting onto Connor as well, but Gink and Polygon trading in rollout.
Yeah, Feint are just going to be taking second here, and they're rolling forward into lobby. Again, Ascent still down two players.
Just go off track
they might just go off.
To last Pappy bombing forward.
Ooh, Credu's on the heavy again. He's going to just put all that damage into people. That's the problem. When you have that heavy alive, you're not taking care of him quickly enough. That's what you usually need the Uber for. That's the problem with a dry push like that, and it didn't go in Feint's favor. Lucas still far forward, looking to get the ball onto Connor. Does not manage to do it though, and yeah, that's going to be Feint losing that push and losing a second off the back of it.
Sneaky cross there.
Oh, we do. God no. They actually let him go spy.
He's going through IT. So Gink's going to be trying to catch up there. He's on the cloak and dagger, so he can't go too fast.
Yeah, Ascent just rolling it forward. They actually use into mid as well. Seeds responding with his own Uber, obviously, and Ascent just not really taking a lot of positioning here and having the worst Uber. Basically have to back out immediately. All their players are really low as well.
He's fooling everyone in choke. They think he's on that team. He finally gets caught out.
It worked for a while. Good acting for sure. Oh, Lucas trapping out Ams there.
Coming back in with this, but it's not working out.
He just rolls forward. Lucas just kills everyone. He just moves forward. He kills Ams, he kills Poly. He just catches out Connor and choke. He's probably going to win this 1v1 against Domo. There you go. He just kills. He's a tank. He just rolls forward. He just kills everyone.
Yeah, the tank there absolutely rolling Ascent. They're on the back foot now, holding up on last. Ams already getting that sentry gun up. 80% Ubercharge advantage for Seeds, and it looks like they're going to go a bit faster this time. They're going to go through one, so their usual lobby push.
Maybe
or not, because they proved me wrong once again.
Yeah, maybe they heard the call that the heavy's on the right side here, and they're going to be opting to Uber through there instead. They do get juggled a little bit, and they're going to be pressuring out the heavy now. The rest of the team of Ascent on the left side. Lucas getting taken down early, not being able to kill anybody, just getting players a little low. Gink also getting taken down. They still have Papi in behind. Ams is onto the combo actually. Does not manage to kill anybody though, and Tomas is going to clean up Zebo as well. And it's gonna be a little bit of a reset. Feint have to back out here for a bit, play a little bit more passively. Ascent rolling forward into second, seeing if they can retake this point or maybe even push forward.
He's got behind him to last, and no one is guarding last. Classy's already on the back cap. He's going to be able to get this. There's no one there.
Oh my
Classy
God!
Sneaking through top lobby. They didn't leave anyone on last. Zebasai was in the respawn queue. Obviously, usually leave your Roma to take care of last while the rest of your team pushes out, but
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, they didn't leave anyone in last or in lobby, so...
Yeah, I hate to see it. But that's going to be a third round for Feint, headed into the fourth one with 5 minutes, roughly, left on the clock.
Yeah, we're going to have our first normal mid here with neither teams playing Sniper. Domo gets taken down so early by Gink. Ascent have to throw everything they can at Seeds in return. He surfed way out of the choke though. Credu's going to get onto him, but the last bullet does manage to take Seeds down, so Connor's already way out. surfing all these rockets. Gink is trying to get onto him though. And
does kill him.
Down Connor, and he does
He
those
just kill taunts. Oh my god.
Gink, no respect
At all. That's a wipe essentially for Ascent on mid there, and Feint looking very confident to be taking the second point here as well. Seeds did die.
Seeds is so far away and no one's picking him up. Classy's just completely ignored the fact that his medic is swarmed, so Connor is actually going to get an advantage here despite being the one who died.
You reckon they're getting a little cocky? Because like there's 4 minutes left, they're 3 rounds up.
I don't think they're worried.
I reckon they're getting just like a little like, oh, you know, we're getting into the garbage territory, we can do whatever you want. Am's getting picked up by Lucas there as well.
Yeah.
And Lucas is just trapping up more in one here, Ascent looking to poke forward. Poly getting taken down by Thomas, and that's going to be the rest of Feint just rolling into lobby here, just moving forward, holding the W key. Who needs any other buttons on your keyboard anyway? Domo and Zebo both getting taken down. He's just dealing the damage.
With a really nice 3K at the end there, and with 3 minutes left and 4-0 down, I think this is Feint's map to roll. I don't think it's even possible for a comeback from Ascent at this point.
I would be surprised. I mean, I don't even think it's mathematically possible. I think the quickest you can, like, if you like have a ×8 on every point, is still like 1.5 minutes per round. So
it's about a minute, I think.
Realistically, we're into the garbage. So let's see what these teams do in garbage. I would love to see Gink running the bazooka. He's been doing that a bit at LAN, so I wouldn't... Yep, there he is. He's doing it already, trying to go high with that orbital nuke of the bazooka. Does not manage to kill anybody, though. And, yeah, I mean, this is going to be a 1 mid for Ascent, obviously. But how much does it matter?
Well, they're going to be trying their best at least. Maybe it's some miracle they can cap faster than it's physically possible to do.
They're trying. You know, they're sending in Zebo, picking up Lucas finally, and just gonna be poking forward here a little bit, just doing their thing, you know, the standard thing. Even if they can just keep their fingers warm, you know, keep their game going, practice strategies maybe.
Yeah, maybe they're just talking about the next map at this point.
Who knows? The Uber does come in.
Ubering on to the last. They might get one round here, but I don't think it's worth talking about much. I think the mid-fights were really what was doing it for Feint this map.
Yeah.
They won all of them, apart from this garbage time mid. Even when they tried to sniper themselves, Pappy was still having a lot of impact getting behind. He was doing kind of plays in IT and that sort of thing, whereas Polygon, when they had their sniper, wasn't really making the same impact that allowed them to make the space and get out of choke. Feint actually are holding this last anyway off of the advantage push. Feint does, Seeds does go down on the end of it.
But yeah, that's going to be Ascent not even taking a single round yet. Ams is on the spy. He does get spotted out, but he's got the dead ringer. I don't know if players are even aware that that weapon still exists, and he's going to try to cap last here. But Gink is obviously aware of that, the brutal guardian of the last point. He's not going to let that happen.
He loves it. His finger in his thumb in the shape of an L on his forehead. Gink just rubbing it in. These teams do have a lot of rivalry with each other.
Yeah.
They are very toxic in chat, dropping binds. Obviously Connor with his famous sarcastic binds in chat all the time. Gink and Connor actually have a bet on this game over who's going to win.
Oh.
They have to buy each other drinks at the bar afterwards, so...
Ooh, okay, that's an interesting one to bet about.
Yeah, they're good friends.
Fair enough. Classy, like looking to be a little bit cheeky with the putas just in IT. And yeah, that's the last 40 seconds of this round. Maybe a set and can like convert around here. They did wipe Feint there for a bit, and they
haven't capped up second. I don't know if there's time. Am's just going for
the logs at this point.
Yeah, going for the logs.
So is Gink, just trying to play a little bit more sniper, getting a little bit more of that frag clip material. Looking to maybe can kill Ams with the sign there. Maybe not, okay. But yeah, that's basically it for this map. And that's going to be Feint taking Process very, very convincingly with 4-0, actually.
Very convincingly. This is looking good for them to break the Ascent curse and finally beat out Connor, which I know they desperately want to do for those free drinks.
Fair enough. That's a good game.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Brilliant game. We don't have much to say about it, but I'm sure our analysts know a lot more than we do.
They have big brains.
Not quite full 5-0 roll, but Feint obviously very commanding in this first map. So we're going to take it away. We have Turbo Tabs with Ombrak and Dumtum ready and waiting.
Welcome back to the analyst desk. It was a strong start and a clowny finish here in our first map of Ascent.eu versus Feint Gaming, and I'm back with the boys. I'm back with Ombrak. I'm back with Dumtum. Ombrak, why did that game start off so well for Feint Gaming?
It was close for a really long time. For some reason, it looked like both teams were, looking at each other, gauging the strengths of one another, seeing who was feeling it today, maybe, and then game happened, I say, and he popped off, and he hit some crazy shot, and when you're Ascent, you're starting losing, even though it was really close, and the two last rounds were just the result of that. But I think the actual truth of the game is much more the 15 first minute than the 15 last one.
Now, Dumtum, tell me why they kind of solidified that lead over on Feint Gaming while I tried to get this newfangled technology working on the screen here.
Yeah, it was kind of a game of two halves, right? It was the slower beginning. Yeah, both teams just feeling each other out, maybe feeling the pressure a little bit, maybe just being a little bit tired. So they played careful at the beginning, figured each other out a little bit. But eventually, especially after the first mid, you saw Sen starting with the sniper mid, just immediately right off the gate, trying to slow things down. And the next mid immediately afterwards, Feint just kind of figured out how to work against that and just still get all the presence on the mid fight, despite the sniper supposedly denying a little space, right? But they still got all the space really easily. They just very quickly figured out how to deal with Ascent trying to slow down the pace, and after Feint got control, they never let it go again.
Now, boys, take it in, take it in. Oh, we've got a new TV now. It's sweet, isn't it? But maybe you won't be able to see it in the background too well, but I think production will count you. There you go. That's for you, and this is for us. So, boys, is anything jumping out at you from these stats at all?
Lucas, I mean, look at the guy. Crazy ratio, crazy damage, really dominating the map against Domo. And I know Ascent now. Domo is the main caller for Ascent, so that team is kind of more shaping up around him rather than around AMS. And him losing the demo fight this hard against Lucas is really a good testimony of how Feint was dominating this game. And Gink as well, like his numbers doesn't seem too crazy, but his impact on the game, like each of these 18 picks was crazy important for Feint Gaming.
Dumtum, any favorites?
I mean, obviously both scouts doing incredibly well on Feint. They just had really consistent performances. One obviously dealing more damage, but in the end both getting all the frags for the team where it's necessary. So just, again, really consistent performances all around. But, I mean, that time inflated it a little bit for sure, but you just look at the medics, and Connor had such a much tougher time staying alive with Seeds. Was basically never really that to begin with this game.
All right, boys, I think we could actually go to the extra log screen as well. We've got additional logs here, and yeah.
This is really important column here.
Yeah, extremely important column. Just in case we get a backstab, you know, we want to dedicate an entire column for that. But we've got the headshots. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the headshots because there wasn't too many heads popping off, but there was a lot of body shots. There was a lot of pressure, a lot of sniper pressure. And sadly, we do not have a column for that. I wish we did, but we don't. So I think one of the worst things that started off for Ascent.eu was they opened with a sniper to mid, which usually you give, like, you know, one mid, a good huzzah the old-fashioned way, but they went straight to sniper, and I feel like it influenced, like, Gink just went, yeah, that's an excellent idea, I'll go sniper. I mean, did the sniper really break it down for Ascent.eu, or do you think it was just they were going to get creamed either way?
Well, I don't know if Dom will agree, but I feel like Ascent maybe went to sniper a bit too quickly. I would rather see them trying the more classic way of cookie cutter lineup and see how would that go. And I felt like they relied on Credo a bit too early into the game, and on that particular on process, Gink won the duel. But yeah, I think it was a bit too quick for we know they love to play with Credo and sniper. Credo is a crazy player, but I feel like it was a bit too early in my eyes to get Credo and sniper, and maybe it would have been better to refine a bit more Credo and Scab first.
If you can see behind Ombrak's shoulder, you can see there's 17 capture points for Classy. My God, just
yeah.
I'm trying to take what the additional stats will give me. I think I've got some other stats back here. Let me see. Med picks. Ah, there we go. I bet you're excited about this screen, Ombrak. Yeah. I'm sure production will be kind and bring up the medic stats for the people watching at home as well. But
this is a rough one. Look at the Uber difference, the healing per minute difference, the amount of death within like. Advantage loss, none for Seeds, more heal rate, no drops, like all around stellar performance for Seeds.
Yeah, I think the most important one here is just like that they just didn't really lose any big advantages, right? Like if you're winning, at some point you can just afford to lose advantages because it just stalls out time. But there was never a moment where they needed to. They always had something to do with the Ubers. They always keep up the pressure, and there was never a moment where things slowed down enough for Ascent to really just like bring it back in sort of one way or another. Sure, it was slow at the beginning, but that were just already established stalemates. Once Faint had an advantage to go with, they just went with it.
Well, so I've managed to put that back on the idol.
You're so good.
I know. I feel like an old man that's just first got a TV remote for the first time. All right. So that's the first map. I'm imagining a lot of these players would be putting that map behind them because they're going straight into our second map. That's going to be Sunshine, boys. And after you watch a performance like that on Process, how do you feel about Ascent.eu's chances going into a map like Sunshine?
I'm not convinced. We've seen them on Sunshine before. We've seen Ascent on Sunshine before. I think this is their pick, and they got rolled by Ascent 7 yesterday. I think that was on stream. They struggled against top 5 Sons yesterday as well, and I'm really, really surprised to see them playing Sunshine. Really surprised.
I'm not necessarily as much. Obviously, Process has been a bit troublesome in the past for Ascent, so it makes sense for Faint to pick that one. Sunshine has been a map that they kind of like. Obviously, you said they struggled a little bit, but they also had this really close game with Ascent and A, where they had to lead for the majority of the game. So they certainly have strats that can work out if they're all playing well. It just needs to happen, for what I know at least. Faint is not too keen on Sunshine. Obviously, the talk was yesterday about Lucas not being too well prepared for Badlands, but Sunshine is also a map they mentioned where they just aren't quite on the same level where they want to be compared to everybody else. So it could be a very big advantage for Ascent here if they know what to do with it.
Yeah. Help out your boys at Ascent.eu, Ombrad. Come on, give them some bullet points. Coach Ombrad, give them what they need to do, what they need to focus on going into this Sunshine map.
Less space to Lucas, I think, is the main thing. We've seen them giving way too much space to the moment. And I don't know, I feel like, again, high-stakes game, so sometimes you're a little more cautious than usual, but maybe a little more aggression from them. That goes with giving Lucas less space, but I feel like, I mean, what do they have to lose now? They're one map away from getting out of the tournament, regardless. So might as well try their best and try a bit more, something that they're more accustomed to, and this is aggression in my eyes.
Yeah. Dum Tum, it's the age-old question. Do you stick with what you know, or do you just go think outside of the box when you're pushed against the wall?
It's weird because I don't think they played like they used to normally in this game, right? It was like really uncharacteristically like passive for the longest time in this match on Process. So in a way they have to return to what they know for this next match. I think they need to like return to the aggression they're known for. They slowed down the game right away, and it just didn't help them at all. Faint just figured this is the game they want to play. Sure, we can do that as well, and they gave them the full match to like adapt to it. Sure, the first mid was a little bit weak for them, but afterwards Faint just was ready for the next like 15 minutes.
Yeah. Now, Ombrad, Ascent.eu strike me as like a bit of an emotional team. You know, if AMS is like losing, he's going to feel sad. Sad AMS doesn't like to call. He's the main caller. What could AMS do to kind of like pick himself up, or is he so used to this now he doesn't need to be so sad, I guess, when he's going into the next map?
Well, Domo is main calling now as well with AMS, but I feel like with Ascent he changes every other day. Sometimes I feel, yeah, I'm main calling now, this is how we play, and then I'm done with main calling, guys. Domo's got a main call now, so maybe there's going to change between these two maps. But one thing I'm fairly sure is happening right now is Zebo is telling them, guys, we can't play like that. This is boring. We need to do something. And yeah, so like Zebo doesn't like to wait. He wants to do the flank plays. He want to go behind with Kudu. He wanted to do stuff like that. And this goes with what Dom says, how they play way more passion. They didn't want to push as much as they usually do. So yeah, I'm almost sure we're going to see Ascent going all out, and it's going to start on the first mid.
Yeah. Who do you think would be better to take the reins here than Dum Tum? A calm Domo that's obviously going to be a bit more passive in his calling than usual, or a sad but aggressive AMS?
It's going to be tough to say for sure. Obviously, they just need to find the right answer, right? Like whoever figures out the quickest among the two will probably just take the lead for the rest of the match here, which is not necessarily the best thing ever, right? You just want to have like a cohesive team all around, but sometimes the switch might just need to happen.
So, I mean, it's a best of 3. It's match point. It's final point, literally, for Ascent.eu. Ombrad, what's that like? What's it like feeling all that pressure? Is this literally going to heighten Ascent.eu, or is it going to make them worse?
They've been in that exact situation yesterday. On the previous round in the lower bracket, they lost the first map to top 5 Suns, and they were already back against the wall. And they came back.
Yeah,
they won
top 5 Suns are such a great team, aren't they?
This is not what I mean. But thank you, I'll take that, and I'll say it again. And weirdly enough, they lost the first map, and what was the second map that started to come back? It was Sunshine. So maybe it is a pattern here, and maybe this is what they're thinking about. They're maybe thinking, we did that yesterday. We lost the first map, then we played Sunshine, and then we came back. And if they come back, third map is Gully Wash as well. So it's all happening again, maybe. And there's reason to be hopeful on Ascent.eu.
Yeah. We've seen many comebacks, Tom, in this tournament, literally in like the table-wise, as well as just like small picture in a map. Do you think Ascent.eu have it within them to make a comeback like that? And, you know, will it rise to them? Will they, yeah, are they that sort of team? Or is it just literally something wrong with their gameplay, you know, core level that they can't fix at this point?
They definitely can. They have the talent for it, but it's going to be incredibly hard. I said before at the beginning of the match that if one of those two teams here is dominant, they have a really good shot to just take it all. And Feint has been looking fairly dominant so far. Ascent.eu needs to make some massive adjustments, and it's going to be really hard to do that in this little amount of time.
All right, boys. Before we throw it over to the casters, give me a quick, just one team name. Who you think is going to win this next map?
Feint.
Feint.
Also Feint, yeah.
Feint. All right. It's an all Feint affair here on the analysis desk. I'm going Feint as well, baby. Let's go. And
how original.
I love me, Pappy. Okay. We'll send it over to our casters. It's still Cerny. It's still Bum. Take it away, boys.
Hi, we're still here. We're not going anywhere. We're going to be looking at this wonderful Sunshine game, hopefully a little bit closer.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's closer, but that was very commanding from Feint.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're going to slow down at all. Ascent have been so shaky this LAN. Obviously, not even our analysts know who's main calling at the moment. As of this morning, that was a question I asked them as well. I was like, have you switched back yet again? And as of this morning, it was AMS main calling. They might have even switched between the maps with just how chaotic this team atmosphere is. And I think that's really how Feint are staying in the lead, having Pappy as that strong, coordinated caller. They've not had to be mixing any things up. They know their game plan. And, you know, they are strong at Sunshine too. Ascent have not been good at Sunshine. I don't know whose map pick it is, but it was strange to see it get picked, or at least even get through the banning phase.
They might have really just gone off the back of the fact that that's what started their comeback yesterday, and like, oh, you know, they were thinking, oh, well, we did tie our American brethren on this map, so maybe we can whip something up. Honestly, yeah, it is a weird choice. It is a weird choice, but
yeah, I don't think Feint are going to be slowing down at all here. They have the momentum from the first map. They have the cohesion of not changing your main call at least once a day, and I think that's just going to solidify their 2-0 getting through to meet 7 in the next matchup.
I wouldn't be surprised, yeah. I would not be surprised if we just saw Feint to take this wonderful Sunshine map. It is a bright, wonderful sunny day outside here in Birmingham as well, actually. So very fitting that this map's getting played, actually, in my opinion.
Beautiful sunny Birmingham with all the lovely beaches and lighthouses as we see on Sunshine.
I mean, that's just like, it's a, you know, fiction. It's a work of fiction in some regard. It's artistic freedom to an extent, you could argue. You gotta make some things a little bit more abstract sometimes maybe, or remove them from reality. That's just how things go. But I hope the teams will be readying up soon here. Looks like they are going to be very, very soonish. So let's head into this first round, shall we? Let's see what Ascent has to respond to here. Let's see how Feint handle the second map, if they can just take this immediately.
Yeah, no sniper shenanigans to Sunshine. It's a lot less suited for that. And Domo, first off, being a lot slower to mid. Lucas already getting some sticky damage going on to him, but he's weak as well. Both teams taking it slow and putting some pressure on the point.
Seeing what these teams are going to be doing, as both teams just poking each other. Ascent now rotating over to Feint's Flowers are actually probably going deep into choke, fighting Gink, and just, again, spam being exchanged, nobody dying yet. Everybody's playing really, really passively. Gink's actually the lowest health player so far, but he's very far back.
Out the fight, so now Ascent know that they want to take a 6v5. Polygon going all the way forwards. Zebasai and Fredu controlling that high ground and Tetris there, but that lets Gink come in from behind whilst everyone's going forwards. He's fighting Fredu there on the flank.
Still not dead. Oh my god, finally cleaned up.
First kill of the game after an entire minute. So now Feint taking a 5v6 fight. Happy's getting forced out the flank as well, getting bombed by Polygon there. That will get cleaned up, but Domo goes down on the side of Ascent, which is not a pick you want to lose on mid. Now, both teams have even got Uber in the time this mid fight's been going on, using it off. Classy's gonna get picked off by Ams here.
And yeah, Feint are gonna have to back out. They lost too many players both before and during the Uber there, and Ascent finally take the mid after 1.5 minutes. We have seen rounds completed in that time, and it took these teams 1.5 minutes to complete mid.
Yeah.
It's a very slow game so far. Both teams taking it very seriously, not trying to make any sort of mistakes, or not any critical ones at least. Trying to be very, very careful with how they place themselves here. And Ascent are gonna be looking to mount a push forward here through the choke, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how they try to take second as both teams are building their Ubers, probably waiting on exactly that. No shenanigans, no EU gimmicks yet either, no snipers, no spies, no weird off-classing going on just yet. Both teams playing it very traditionally, both Ascent scouts poking forward in Flowers while the rest of the team is huddled up and choke, and Zeba's actually going to bomb in.
Isn't going brilliantly. Gink also returning the bombs onto Connor. Gets one rocket in, but that's all that's going to happen. This is a classic second to mid stalemate on Sunshine. A lot of teams.
It's not just a stalemate. It's even a mirror matchup. Both teams just losing their roamers. They're doing a very traditional thing. We'll have to see how these teams look to break this stalemate, because again, obviously, Ascent did not want to take any risks. They're on the losing side right now.
Yeah, Fredu on sniper, but Gink already knows. He's been checking the off classes on the spy, so Fredu's going to be trying to take this space through Cafe side here. Seeds is still kind of in an exposed position for a sniper. Just
they're aware now.
The lighthouse, so now he does start hiding inside, behind cover.
By the way, Gink actually stayed on spy. He's actually going out. He's actually moving around right now. He's actually going through Flowers already. He's pretty far in, and while Credu's trying to get these snipes off, Gink is just behind the team of Ascent by now. So there's a lot of mind games going on here with these pick classes.
I believe he has the cloaking dagger, so he has to take his time. He's taking baby steps, bit by bit, inching ever closer. He has to get all the way around to Connor in Cafe there, so he's just surveying the middle, maybe relaying some comms to his team. Very happy, does try and put some pressure onto Ams and Polygon. Ams going down very low in the choke, down to 10 HP.
Oh, if you're going to be trying to gun down Connor there, does not manage to do it though. He did get him to heal it for a bit, but that's all that happened, and Pappy's also going to take it down.
Off. Ooh. Connor got forced by Pappy there, so it's 2 down for Feint, but they do have the full Uber advantage. Polygon wants to even this out. Looks like he's going in for a big bomb into the skybox, landing right on Seeds' head, pops him up, hits the air shot on an Ubered Seeds. Now Ascent having to run out of Cafe. Thomas is chasing this down. They want the frag so badly in this Uber. Everyone's taking a lot of damage in Flowers here, but Ascent will escape with their lives.
For now. But Feint do retake the middle point there as well. Fredu putting a lot of pressure on as a sniper as well. He's actually hit his strike now. He's starting to hit some good shots, but unfortunately couldn't kill anybody. But even just the damage pressure was enough to slow down Feint ever so slightly, and it's probably like what slowed them down enough here to not try to push second immediately, as they're actually very passive with their slight disad. They're rocking right now, and Ascent, they realize that, hey, there's nobody close. Why don't we just take some space going deep? Respond
right through into the choke. These rockets though, but in this time Seeds has got his Uber up, so Feint actually looking to contest in the middle here, at least for now. They are all taking damage though, being forced back into that corner of mid. Seeds having to use it off after losing Pappy and Thomas. Classy also going down, not with his team in the Uber, gets picked up on the flank. So devastating for Feint, as they haven't even managed to make Connie use Uber.
He's just got full ad now, and they're going to be rolling this forward. They have absolutely nothing to lose here. Even if they have to Uber, they can still easily take the second. And Ubers are going to be pretty equal for last regardless. That being said, they're going to take second basically for free and going to be trying to Uber into last here probably as soon as possible. This is like what Ascent do. They just go fast. There's a heavy up already. They're putting a lot of pressure onto the team. Obviously, Fein just hiding in spawn. Sentry's on the left side, actually, finally getting taken down. Lucas still lives, though, and Am's actually the first player to die. So is Domo following up. They do take down Lucas, but Zebo also goes down, and that's a hold by Fein.
I really like what Thomas did there, baiting out the Uber. He was heavy on the left side, so obviously they want to get that heavy down immediately. Then Thomas just hides spawn for the duration of the Uber and comes back out with his full health up after the Uber's already faded. Does a great job of getting everyone down. Leaves Fein here with a 50% advantage, trying to push into mid.
And knowing Fein, that's what they're going to do. They're actually going to go through Cafe, seeing if they can Uber through there, maybe not even get forced yet. Zebo in very, very close, doing a lot of damage onto anybody but Seeds. And yeah, they're just going to clean him up while Happy's in on mid as well, pressuring out these Ascent players. Obviously, Fein will be looking to take this point without having to Uber, but if they have to, well, now they have to because Connor gets his own Uber up in the meantime. Obviously, Seeds Uber way better here, though, and they're going to be pushing Ascent back through the choke, actually cleaning up Credu on the way out as well. Classy running forward, cleaning up Domo, too. He's just in. He's just killing people. He's in behind as well.
Fine. This is a great Uber. Classy. He's going to fight Zebasai as well, getting those lead shots in. He's going to chase him down into lobby.
Will he kill him? No, he will not.
Just get out on the control point is being contested with that amount of HP. So.
I mean, any HP over 1 is all you need, really. It's a resource. No health point matters except for the last one, and that's the one you need. So he lives, and Feint again gonna be holding up on the second here, building their Uber, as will Ascent. Credu on the sniper again as well. He likes to play that class.
They evened up on Ascent's last this time. Feint rolling that all the way back from their successful last hold. No team has an advantage, so they're just going to be waiting for Credu to do something. It looks like he's into lobby.
Got his eyes onto Gink there, but Gink dodging those shots, just seeing if he can poke forward, do a little bit of damage here, and ultimately stays passive as Credu rotates sides, seeing if he can get another angle onto the enemy gamers here. Yeah, both teams now have their Ubers. Feint probably going to be looking to move forward into lobby soon enough. Body shot onto Pappy there, but he's not going to be able to clean that one up. And yeah, Pappy's just going to stay passive and heal up. And I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, like, Feint are going to be moving forward into lobby here soon. Gink already very aggressive on the right side there, putting a lot of damage down. And it's going to be just a matter of who gets the opening frag here as to what happens. If Feint manages to catch even like just Credu off guard here, they can easily push this point without having to worry about anything. That being said, Credu obviously incredible sniper. Yeah. When he hits his shots, he really hits his shots, and you don't want to be up against that. Actually, they're going to be trying to pressure him out.
Wide angle getting all the way around this corner. Lobby doesn't manage to land the shot. And we'll stay alive for the seconds to last in the meantime. Gink and Classy both going in. They're going to get taken down off the back of that double sack. So 2-pick advantage for Ascent. Am's trying to get out. There's a lot of damage to Lucas. Pappy's trying to chase him down to get revenge, and he does so. Now Pappy behind, causing a bit of trouble in dungeon, will get taken down eventually. Thomas now running forwards just to keep everyone stuck in this shutter. It looks like he really wants to take the Uber. He surfs in very deep though. Seeds does manage to save him with the Uber now being exchanged on last.
And they're gonna be moving back here as Ascent do hold onto the point with that exchange naturally. But like just losing Ams that early, it just meant they couldn't continue that push at all. They just had to back off immediately because they really wanted to. You saw them trying to take that into second, but they just could not do it with essentially like a sniper that doesn't allow you to push, and then also a player down. So we're back to square one. Credu is on the sniper again, very far forward in lobby.
Countering him on the side of Feint this time.
A little bit of a sniper v sniper. We've seen it a lot in this series so far. So let's see what they do. Seeds very well aware of the sniper, obviously holding very far back, and everybody else also just playing it very passively. Gink now has an angle onto that shutter door. As soon as that door opens, one of these snipers is going to get shot, and it's going to be Credu, only surviving with a sliver of HP thanks to that overheal.
But that does get Ascent out to last. Feint going to be able to take control of lobby here, and that means that Gink's going to have a lot more angles and opportunities that he can really create to peek around corners. try and get some frags. Ooh! Lobby, but Gink gets the nice headshot. Happy's going to go forwards off the back of that. They're trying to get more space. Ooh, another shot out wide. Gets another body shot.
He's gonna be looking. He's hungry now. He's killed Ams. He's hungry now. He wants to get another shot off here. He does find Credu. That's nice. That means no sniper, and Fein are gonna be rolling forward into last year, not even popping just yet. Seeing which, okay, they're gonna be the first to use, but only very slightly earlier. And King just is still staying back, seeing if he can clean up anybody that isn't shiny and invulnerable. As Class is actually the first player to go down during this Uber. And
they must have stepped in well. He actually
gets a shot onto Zebo.
Killing Zebo in the meantime.
He's just hitting all of his shots right now. This man is on fire. He is not missing. He hits the crucial shots, and that's what matters. Rolling forward a little bit here, pressuring out Fein out of lobby, but that Gink sniper is just doing work right now for Fein. Gink is just putting in so much work right now, doing so much to keep his team in the fight, just getting these frags whenever he can. It's actually incredible how he's just turned up now.
Yeah, Ascent leaving to last. They've got Predator on Engineer. Going to be building that sentry to keep any sacks at bay that may come in.
And peeking low here, trying to see if he can find a shot onto somebody. Gets spotted out. Credu back on the sniper now, with M's going Sentryman instead. So let's see what the sniper duel has this time around. Gink hitting that body shot onto Domo, does not manage to clean up the kill though, and getting pressured out now. Seeing if he can just make something happen here. He really wants to get that angle. Obviously, Credu responding, finds him there, wins the sniper duel this time around, having a lot more room to work with now. This could be what Ascent are looking for. This could be the opening, the opportunity. Feint obviously going to be way more passive immediately, but that sniper threat is now looming, and Credu is here.
He's hiding behind that wall. He doesn't want to give himself up to any chance of being shot like he so devastatingly was yesterday.
Teams just staring at each other through a glass wall is great. It just, you can't shoot me, but I can look at you. I can see where you are. It's funny.
Getting out of the lobby pretty much immediately. There's not much use to holding it. Gink
on the sniper.
Spotted by Zebasai. Zebasai bumping into him. I think he thinks it's the wall. Domo finds out though. He's got his teammates back there and does take Gink down. And Zebasai looks like he's coming for a counter-sack here. They know Seeds is in this position because he's hiding from the sniper, so it's a very easy force for Zebasai. Brilliant from him, so now it's a full advantage for Connor. We're going to see Ams switch off the Engineer. We're going to see Credu switch off the sniper. Everyone's getting ready for their full cookie cutter push. Ams going to be leading this one out through lower lobby.
Yes, and actually, they're playing it very slowly. They're taking their sweet time. I mean, they do have the full ad, so they can afford to. But every second they wait, just a second that Seeds gets closer to actually getting his Uber back. He's already halfway there again. This man builds so fast that you can't take your time against him.
Gink's fighting people on last. He's doing a great job. He brings 3 players back from him and even gets a kill. This is delayed so much on Ascent's side. He does eventually get taken down by Domo, but he did so much damage.
Seeds is almost a full Uber again. Finally, Connor uses his Uber, and they push into second here, but Seeds just gets his Uber as well. They use it, and they just push Ascent back immediately with a way better Uber too, and it's this devastating almost for Ascent. They just could not push out there. It took them way too long, and Seeds got up to his Uber again, and we're back into an equal situation, and Feint holding the lobby.
And Feint wants to go dry off this Ams push. They're trying to get in the space, but this double bomb just mulches them up in the corner. Pappy going down. All of Feint now falling to the heavy of Credu.
He's just tearing them down.
Yep.
Yeah, all right. He's tearing them all down, and that's a botched dry push there. Lucas does live, but how much can you do?
Oh, I'm still in, but Domo does live. Putting the pressure out. Lucas will jump away. Pretty much a wipe there from Feint. Trying to dry push too quickly off that one singular Ams pick. Really badly wanted to make something happen after being sniper stalemating for so long. So now going to be Connor trying to come into mid without using. Happy's the only one here really in the position to go for a cross, but he does jump back. He will even get fought off. Tomas was in the fourth one, I believe.
Trying to snipe, yeah. Didn't quite work out because he got spotted out by Polly, just instantly destroyed by a bomb, but
guys try already all the way in into second. This standing presence pushing them back out to last thing on the back foot. They will get their Uber up, so it's going to be even for us, but
Ascent looking a lot more commanding all of a sudden. Yeah, they used in immediately on the left side here, catching Feint off guard almost. Finally, Seed responding to his own. Uber has the better one. He's going to be able to pressure Ascent out a little bit, at least for the time being, but they have to hold on to their last regardless as the teams reset, waiting for the next push. It's been 15 minutes and nothing has happened.
Yeah,
both teams
minutes, and we've just been
so
watching
slow.
These teams take each other from last to last, but no one's been able to convert any of their pushes in yet. So we have Classy on Thomas on Spy. I believe he's just checking to see if Freddy's up to something. Yeah, does eventually pick to go on Sniper once again, so we might be seeing some more staring at walls for a while, guys, as Thomas tries to break the stalemate.
We also have Papi on the buff banner. He likes to run banners. You don't see him use the buff banner very often, but interesting choice. Interesting choice. We'll have to see if you can make that happen, if you can build that and maybe use that. Ooh, Thomas almost getting a shot onto Domo there, just barely hitting his shoulder instead of the head. Very unfortunate. That could have been a crucial pick to allow him to maybe push back out here, but for the time being, it's going to remain as a 165 damage dealt for basically nothing but the logs.
Obviously, that's the most important part of the game, so
oh, obviously.
no one cares if you lose land.
Especially if it's such a slow round and everybody's damage is garbage anyway, but sure. That's what it's all about. You can say that you had a 30-minute round on land where nothing happened. That being said,
Happy peeking into lobby, he's trying to build this buff banner up. I'd expect to see him try and sack with it. It's not particularly great for refreshes and that sort of thing. Freddy sacking him, gets taken down. Zebasai also getting sniped off by Thomas, but kills getting returned in lobby as Papi was trying to follow up on that. So a trade coming out onto Ams straight away. Seeds hasn't used at all here. The Uber getting denied by the sentry gun, and just Feint standing so far away.
oh, Credu on the heavy here, actually moving forward. Oh, Ascent they're whipping out some very interesting strategies now. I don't know if Feint are going to be aware of that, because they only spy check for the spies and the snipers. That's an interesting play, sacking in so you can go heavy.
Yeah, I don't know what that
I guess they're like expecting Feint to push out.
I think they tried to trade and then do a push with it, but Seeds does get forced off in lobby in the meantime by Polygon. Freddy's just going to be hiding in his corner in Cafe, not doing much.
He's finally moving out on the point. That's now suddenly they have the heavy and they have the advantage to protect this point with it, potentially. And yeah, that's going to be exactly what they do. The pressure of the heavy is just enough to force Feint back. Lucas also going down.
Well, Classy getting picked up. Thomas, all the frags going the side of Ascent, and with their full advantage, it looks like we might have the first round of the game on our hands. Ams getting Ubered onto, using in onto Bing, does get taken down with the help of the heavy, and they're just playing the blast
with the heavy, and it works out. Wonderfully done. Just leaving credit to his own vices up on the top there, doing his own thing and just cleaning up the damage. Interesting play, but it worked.
I know, I like to see the heavy. That's really interesting. People have been using it a bit more often recently. We've seen some Snake Water mids even, with players going on to heavy for the duration of it.
Domo again being a little bit more slow on the second mid here on the rollout. Looking to obviously pressure the team of Feint there a little bit. Landing a lot of nice damage actually off of Lucas before Lucas gets finally healed up. But I think going up high immediately as he does every other soldier really. This is how it works. Zebo being the first player to go down. Trades with Papi. Domo also getting taken down by Classy though. And that's
probably got a saw.
He does live as well. They do clean up Classy. And Connor's going to get his Uber very soon here if they do not kill him. King is going to be trying to do exactly that, but that's not going to happen. Connor pops off his Uber. So, yeah, they're going to be pressuring out Feint with that, but Seed's going to
kind of like a wasted Uber charge here. I feel like they could have got mid just off the back of that fight, but Lucas getting taken down by Ams at least will be slowing down Feint with their full advantage now. Mid hasn't even been capped up yet, so Feint want to go really fast, see if they can block this mid and block the forward spawns that Ascent would get from it. Happy and Thomas, the only players here yet. Bing and Classy slowly coming in from behind as well.
Yeah, they just like had Polly bombing behind. He got cleaned up. Happy now going in deep, seeing if he can find somebody. Not enough ammo in his rocket launcher, unfortunately. For that, yeah.
Advantage straight away before they know Connor's going to get it again soon. So they are going really deep into second. All of Ascent really fear and running out.
They fear the Feint aggression now.
Oh, Rexi's going for a few. Ams is also empty. He's looking for that force. Does get taken down. Creddy's going to get Lucas, though, out of dungeon there. And
Thomas, too.
Thomas and Bobby as well. So now Connor has his overcharge again, and they have all the player advantage on their side. They're going to be able to push back out in a second, which Feint actually didn't cap. So they don't even have to spend any time there. They can roll forwards into mid while Lucas is down.
No, still a player disadvantage for the side of Feint here as well. Feint having to play a little bit more passively before their respawn. Reinforcements arrive, and that's going to be essentially putting a lot of pressure onto the point before Feint players finally arrive. Poppy gets taken down in the meantime.
Oh, and Classy and Thomas is running forward, managed to take down Domo. Well, they see Taz used his overcharge and Connor has not, so...
Looking a little scrappy. Looking a little scrappy right now, not gonna lie. Zebo gets taken down, Gink gets taken down as well, and it's going to be Ascent retaking mid, but no demo for them. They're going to be a little bit slow on this push, even if they do have the full ad. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we just see Ams taking it in anyway, because that's what he does. But Feint naturally playing their disad.
It out. He's calling that it's all clear and they're good to go. Everyone's just waiting on this rollout area for Feint. They might be sending one person in to sack this Uber, but they elect not to do that. Everyone's just going to back out. Plus is already building his sentry gun up, and will Ascent go off this tiny advantage? It's down to 20% here.
It is very quick. They do indeed go off of it and use the Uber into last as they're just trying to lay down some damage. Ascent does get taken down. The Uber out of seeds comes out finally. Obviously way better because he Ubered way later. Poly does get taken down, so does Domo. And it looks like Feint just holding on to the point very confidently there.
Yeah,
with the way better Uber.
They probably could have capped the point without the players on it being flashed. Ams got so much time on it, but Uber does block the cap. Of course, Zebasai getting bumped up into the air there. Happy will take it down in lobby eventually, but Seeds has gone down in this fight as well to Zebasai.
So did Poppy, and that's going to be enough for Ascent to just re-pressure immediately, try to re-aggress. They are only one player down. Feint are lacking too, especially also their heals. That's not something you like to see when you're holding last if the enemy team has that. And Ascent probably not even going to try to wait for their Uber. They're just going to try to drive push this off the back of the fact that there's no heals out at all. Just now, Seeds has respawned, able to heal up his players here, and the Uber actually does finally come out. The heavy is up as well, but it's just not enough to block them from being on the point.
We do have a pause here. Lucas has just had a Steam authentication error, so he's going to be rebooting his game and we'll wait for him. But this is looking great here for Ascent. They're managing to come back on the second map 2-0. It's been slow, it's been back and forth, but they are coming out on top.
They're just way better at converting their pushes right now. They're just doing a way better job at it, and they're giving Feint the treatment. You know, they're letting them know that they're not out of the series just yet. They're not letting the mind games get to them. And they're playing a lot more aggressively as well. Even though the game is slower, it seems like they're converting a lot more on like advantages than they did last map. Because that's what we saw them struggling with a lot last map on process. They just didn't push really, and now they're like actually pushing quite aggressively. Yeah. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But
yeah, Feint trying to go off like such small advantages, like that one Ams pick into last where they just tried to try push and they all got mowed down. It's maybe they're getting a bit too aggressive at times, trying to create advantages out of a situation where there isn't really one to use.
Well, let's hope that our gamers can get back into the game soon, because it's still not a lost cause. There's about 10 minutes left on the clock, so Finn can still very much pull this back. But yeah, I mean, despite everybody believing that Ascent would have a rough time on Sunshine, so far they're performing pretty decently. So let's see how well it goes. For the rest of it.
We've seen plenty of comebacks from Feint already. They've been going down 2-0 basically at the start of every map they've played, but we've had some very hype moments of them coming all the way back as our game. It does get unpaused here. It seems like Lucas might have fixed his issue. Yeah, we do have 12 back in the server, so we're going to be going into our third mid any second now to see if Feint can retake control of this game.
They still have a few minutes left to do so. It is definitely possible. We've seen them do it before many times at this LAN, especially with coast to coast. So let's see if they can just manage to take the second map, or if we're headed into a third one with the third mid being pretty much the decisive part for that, as King goes in deep immediately, gets taken down by Polygon. Poppy also going onto the combo, and he does actually take down Ams and Credu, I believe, there, as well as Domo and Poly getting taken down. Zebo and Connor the only people alive. Zebo extremely low as well, finally getting out though. And Feint, decisive victory on his mid so far. They keep their medic, they keep their demo.
Yep, Connor stays alive in the meantime, but he hasn't been healing. There is still a slight advantage for Seeds, but they're going to have to go so fast if they want it to be relevant for the last fight. Fredu is up on Sniper, and with Feint's respawn so far behind them, it looks like we're going to have an even situation for last. It looks like Ascent may even want to be keeping him second to test that a bit, at least opening the door for Fredu to try and get a shot in.
But that's the most they're going to do. They know that they have to hold last here. They can also afford to play a little bit more slowly now. They can slow down the game. They are in control of the pace. They are 2 rounds up. And there's only single digits of minutes left on the clock. So they can very much afford to slow down the game a little bit to their pace, to what they like to see. And
they just get going.
Yeah,
Feint's left on the clock.
They really want to move.
Really want to move. You can see everyone's just jumping around in lobby as they do get ready for this Feint Uber to come in. Connor only just uses now in the end of that Uber, so he's going to have a better Uber, but not going to be able to chase down any frags today. It's just Thomas and Zebasai down at the moment, but Lucas getting caught on the end of that Uber is tragic for Feint. They are re-pushing up top on the side here, but Happy, the only one really committing to it. Classy was out of the fight, so...
Actually, Gink is on the point trying to make something happen there as well, but yeah, that wasn't going to work. I was about to say, like, this could actually go very well for Feint, because they did kill Ams early, and then they also took down Zebasai. So, you know, I think we're 2 people down, but then they lost Lucas towards the tail end of the Uber, and that was just basically the nail in the coffin for that push. It just couldn't really continue anymore, and that's going to be enough for Ascent to retake the second point, and maybe even move forward into mid here. With the Ubers again being very equal, both medics coming up on their charges within the next second. So let's see what Ascent tries to do. Maybe they'll just park the bus. They're aware that they're 2 rounds up. There's only so much time left. Why take any risks?
Itching to go already, Happy in with a... Not quite a sack, just bombing straight up and seeing if we can get any spam damage onto Connor to send someone else in for a second perhaps, but Thomas and Classy have made all the space through Cafe. They've just drive pushed this after Cafe was distracting them in choke. They've got a decent amount of space, but Seeds does go down low. He decides to take the Uber into them. Ascent flashing their Uber a lot more, but after using later, it will come out as even in the end. Feint now still trying to re-push here through the Cafe area. He's taking a lot of spam, so he's going to get out.
Gink actually surviving on 10 health there as well, being very, very careful not to actually die. And yeah, there's both teams just exchanging, nobody dying, no picks being exchanged, and as every minute ticks down on this clock, it's gonna get harder for Feint to do anything here.
With only 4 minutes left, Feint are really feeling the pressure. Happy's already in choke again, looking like he wants to get something done.
He's just walking forward, seeing if he can put any sort of pressure onto anybody, maybe just get some nice spam. They do take down Zebasai, actually. Ooh, yeah.
They're all the way wrapping around into lobby over there.
Maybe go behind, wrap around essentially. Obviously, having to back off immediately. Classy getting taken down, and so does Poppy. He's looking a little bad for Feint now. They're losing players left, right.
Off Zuba, and Seeds just get some time, so he will use in return. They're chasing down Connor. He might get caught off in the door here. Thomas is onto him, does take down Connor at the end of that fight. Now Polygon and Ams just trying to come in and recontest. They can't let this team get second here. Feint are managing to get the kills though. Oh no, as they all actually go down. It's just Seeds left alive with his respawners coming in. Lucas has to try and save the day now against Ams and Polygon. Polygon's bombing forwards, getting him to force back into Cafe. Ams will clean it up, but Classy and Happy clean up this scrappy fight finally as Ams gets taken down.
What a scrappy fight, Jesus Christ. Well, Feint do win that, but...
Yeah, and the critical thing is that they got Seeds. The entire point of that was Seeds...
he's on the crits.
After killing Connor, but...
He's on the crits.
Ooh, on the crits. Well, he has to speed things up, so I'm not surprised. Obviously, the crits has a faster build rate, so they will get it up maybe in time before Connor gets his Uber to try and get that.
Looks like that's what they're banking on here.
Yeah, they are coming in from up top right off this pick onto Zebasai. Polygon with an unsuccessful bomb getting denied and taken down eventually.
Thomas getting taken down as well, though. That's the trade essentially.
Crits nearly in for Seeds. They're going to use it onto Lucas. He gets the onto Connor. This is huge. This could be the comeback for Feint now as Lucas go forward, gets even more frags. Happy also getting flashed. They are taking everyone down.
Jesus Christ, what a crits play. That worked out by the book perfectly. Nice first sticky onto Connor. Nice second sticky onto Credo, taking down the heavy as well. And then just the flash onto, I believe it was Papi with the soldier rockets to clean up.
With the rockets cleaning up, but it's so rare to see a Crits Krieg play work out that well. But with 1 minute 30 left on the clock, they can't be slowing down at all. Feint, they want to take another dominating mid here, see if they can roll it forwards to last in this short amount of time.
Have to keep up the pace here, absolutely, as the soldiers are already bombing forward, trying to take as much ground as possible, trying to do as much damage as possible, getting in deep behind. Papi going dangerously low. Lucas getting taken down on a point though by Polly. Zebasai getting taken down. Ging taking down Ems.
Oh,
and
Papi in. Oh, this roll is going to be crucial. They have 1 minute left. Polygon has to try and defend here from Tetris. He's going to try and block onto the point or try and get onto Seeds. Here comes his bomb. They all know he's there, but he's just biding his time. All he has to do is delay for a minute as he gets a nice shot onto Tomas. He will get cleaned up, and so will the cap.
Feint now looking for roll forward here as fast as they possibly can. They do have that full ad. They do have 40 seconds on the clock. They're looking to maybe equalize this game, take it into a golden cap so they don't have to lose Sunshine immediately rolling into lobby here and Ascent on full
They're
defense.
going to take this from top right. It's flashed in onto Lucas. Straight away the bomb onto the sentry gun. Tomas coming forwards in the Uber as well. All the damage going in onto Credu, denying this Uber with the heavy. Papi Coolness gets onto Connor and Domo, and all the frags are coming this way for Seeds at the moment. He's onto the point trying
Thomas
to get the
cleaning
cap.
up Polygon there. Only the heavy left on the point. Unfortunately, he can't do enough damage. There's only Lucas left. Lucas has to move forward.
He has to,
He has to be the one to
do
this.
If he can kill Amsir, he gets cleaned up. It's going to be going to a third map here. Feint Gaming versus Ascent EU is a lot closer than we imagined.
A lot closer on this map than we imagined. But Ascent do take Sunshine against the odds, you could argue. But I did say it seems to be their map where they come back on sometimes, or where they put up a lot of interesting fights. So maybe that's why they picked it and it worked out.
I was absolutely ready to see another Feint come back. It's almost like summarizing their land to go 2-0 down and then have these hype moments right at the end, not coming out on top of this one. But I'm sure our analysts are going to be able to break it down any second now and see why that didn't work out for Feint at the end there. We have Turbo, Ombrak, and Dumtum ready and waiting for you.
Welcome back to the analyst desk, and it seemed it came to the wire, but even wires can snap. It's, boys, that was way too close for comfort. What were the emotions like for yourselves watching that?
I mean, we all were wrong. We said Feint would win, and I'm quite glad Feint came back, but I think the crowd was there. We saw the end. It was so close, and we almost saw another crazy comeback in the last second of the game, and I don't know, this line is crazy, man.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry, I'm not actually going on my phone. I'm getting the logs up, okay? It's
yeah, what I'm saying is interesting. It's not dodging it.
No. Dumtum, just tell me, overall, what went wrong, what went right for Ascent.eu in that game?
It was weird. Like, I expected this obviously to be a better map for Ascent and a little bit worse for Feint, but not to this extent we've seen just here now. It was kind of bizarre. It felt like Feint really didn't have much of a clue how to play the map, where Ascent had much more of a game plan all around. It was really slow at the beginning and eventually became a bit faster paced once Ascent had a little bit more of a grasp on the map. And it just felt like in every stalemate, Ascent EU had some sort of win condition that they played towards and eventually got most of their positions when they were on second and Feint was stuck on last. They always played around the fact that is fairly common on Snakewater, for example, as well, that they will like force mistakes on second. Instead of pushing last, they want to lose the other team on second and win that way, where Feint just kind of looked clueless trying to push last many times.
You guys can see that, right? Out there in Twitch chat, yeah, well, it doesn't matter. Only we need to really see these. Any just stats jumping out at you boys? I'm sure production have got you covered. Anyway, so any numbers jumping out at you boys at all?
Well, it was Lucas in first map, and now it's Credu. That was Credu's map. He just popped off. We see, and I think the reason why is we see less sniper of him.
Yeah.
He played sniper on last, but we didn't see him playing sniper that much. He did at the beginning. And I was a bit afraid to see him play sniper at the beginning.
He went to his main class, played heavy for a few situations, and it worked out brilliantly, right? Parking the heavy on second, baiting the other team to push out with the Uber. It was very fortunate that he forced the Uber early, but I think it would have still had a decent amount of success even with later force. And for the repush, it worked brilliantly. There was just nothing Ascent could stop there, and Feint just had no say in that push into second whatsoever.
Now, the real test of this technology is whether or not I can change the screens on production as well if I change this over. No, see, production, it's pretty cool, but not next level. But anyway, I've just gone over to the additional stats, just to kind of bullet through these blogs, as I also want to get talking into the final map as quick as possible. So anything you see of these additional logs at all? I see some air shots coming out from Pappy. He's an air shot machine, you know.
And we're seeing, again, the headshots from Ging, but these headshots had way less impact than on Process. I mean, on Process, it's got a drop on conduct. It's hard to have more impact than this. But I think the interesting thing is we don't talk much about these numbers because usually they don't tell much. But Zebozai health pack, 64. That means he played flank a lot.
Yeah.
And like a lot. And it's like more than anyone else on the map, and that goes to show, we mentioned that before with them after the first map, how Ascent needed to be more aggressive, and I think that started with Zebozai being more aggressive on the flank, and we said how he doesn't like waiting, so I think the playstyle on the first map bored him a little, and I think it took matter into his own hands a bit more, and this numbers doesn't seem like much, but I think it tells the story.
Yeah, it does segue into the idea that he just doesn't like Medic. Like, he doesn't want to see the size of his own Medic, and it's good, because the Medic has a lot on his plate as it is. Speaking of his plate, let's see if we can look at what he had for his team, as I'm going to pull up the Medic stats here. So, I mean, Ombrak, you're the resident expert here. You're the one that should be guiding both me and DumTum, whilst we just patiently listen. So, come on, is there anything that jumps out to you?
These are just numbers, but we can say that Condog stepped up this game, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can't always just blame it on the Medic, right? If the Medic underperforms it, like, everything has to come together. Obviously, the Medic can do badly, but if the rest of the team just doesn't support the Medic, then he has a really tough time defending himself. So it's probably a bit of both here. Just Ascent playing better overall, Connor being more comfortable because of that, having an easier time himself just doing what the Medic should be doing instead of just constantly having to fear for his life.
I don't know. These two medics are probably the most blamed medics in all of, like, TF2, probably, because it just seems like these are the two medics that just kind of go, okay, yeah, I'll just take the abuse, sort of thing. Connor, Seas, I feel like they're very...
But in really different ways. I think, like, when you're on the medic spectrum, Seeds and Condog are on the opposite sides. Like, Condog is reckless, while Siege is really cautious, and somehow it can turn out for the best on one map for one of the medics, and then completely the other way around.
Yeah, it is a nice to have a medic that just kind of absorbs that sort of thing, just like tank it for the team, and just be like, yeah, sure, it's my bad, guys, let's just move on to the next map. Speaking of moving on to the next map, quality hosting transition there. We're going into our third map. It is truly a best of three here in our low bracket semi-final. It's going to be Gullywash, boys. Now, first impressions, straight off the bat, you've seen the preview of both of these teams on their own map. Who's going to win Gullywash?
Feint?
I still would have to go with Feint. They're really proficient on this map, and Ascent have kind of struggled with 7, for example, in the past on this map. Obviously, 7 is, as we've seen yesterday, fairly strong on Gullywash themselves, but
okay.
they just weren't able to, like... we saw Ascent and A struggle on last, but Ascent EU struggled on literally every point in the match they played in the regular season to break any sort of hold that 7 had going. If Feint can just, like, at some point manage to have decent holds when they're in a lead, then I don't think Ascent EU will have much of a say.
I mean, you guys were so quick off the mark, it makes me wonder, maybe I should just ask you the scoreline. What is the scoreline do you think you're going to see in a match like this? Is Feint going to completely roll over them 5-0, 5-0, or is it just going to get that one round and then dig their heels? What do you think the pace of the game is going to be like?
I think Feint is going to take an early lead, and then they're going to build off that. But I don't think it's going to be a round difference win. I hope. But I don't know. I've been pretty off so far, so don't place your bets on what I'm saying.
What about you, DumTum? Shall we put all the money on DumTum's prediction?
I mean, I've been technically wrong, but I mean, it's really impressive with how Ascent EU has stepped up for the second map. So if that's what being wrong is like, then, I mean, they take it. It's made a great game. So I still think Feint will have the upper hand here. I believe they should do better on paper, but obviously that doesn't mean much with Ascent just being able to step up out of nowhere. And if they can do it once again, then we're in for a hell of a game.
Yeah. By the way, that's not how the technology works. It's not like a TV remote. You don't just point it.
Oh, you're not fooling anyone, don't worry.
Right. I like to keep up the pantomime. Anyway, so they did win the second map, Ascent.eu, and they have got the momentum on this side. And we did say that they were a bit of an emotional team in the sense that if they're feeling good, they're playing good. I mean, how important do you think goes into going into this third map to have that second win? Would you much prefer winning the second map over the first map, or is it nice to just win your own map and just...
It's always nice to go on a map, like take the map and then go and play. I can't speak, but yeah, it's better to be Ascent right now than to be Feint, because you're playing off a win. So you have a better mindset, you have better momentum is really important, even if it's across 2 maps. So I'd rather be Ascent, especially you mentioned the emotional amps works on momentum like no one else. For amps, when it clicks, like it's crazy how things go well for them. And I think it's worth to mention that Feint is a bit emotional as well. Like there are players in there. Lucas is an emotional player, I feel. Papi also, his main call is really imbued with feelings. Every time he says something, I was behind them and there are words that I wouldn't dare repeat on stream. But I think both these teams are maybe Zebozai adds that little cold blood in Ascent, the same way Seeds can do it for Feint. But as well, I think they're pretty much equal in the feelings department.
Who's the greatest? All right, boys. Final thoughts. I've got maybe a little, I guess, philosophical question here. Who's the greatest enemy in this game for Feint Gaming? Is it Feint Gaming themselves, or is it Ascent.eu?
I think it's themselves. Everybody just needs to play to their best. Umbrek already described that if Feint have a lead that they can hold for a long time, it's pretty much over. And I think that got both ways in this game. If Ascent can keep the momentum up all the way, and like I would say the moment anyone gets like a 2-round lead in this match, it's like really hard for the other side to come back if they just can keep going the way they are and there's not enough adjustment.
All right, thank you very much, boys. Thank you, Umbrek. Thank you, Dum Tum. And a big thank you to the casters who are going to be throwing it over. They've been casting brilliantly so far. We're going to pass it back one more last time to Cerny and Bum. Take it away, guys.
Hi. Let's do some goalie.
Let's do,
shall we?
The rivals of Ascent EU and Feint Gaming are really at each other's throats already. Not only in game bringing us to a third map after that very close game of Sunshine, but in chat, Connor's been being a bit cheeky. He's asking them if the prophecy's going to come true and the chokers will choke again. We'll see if they can break the curse.
As we're starting.
Yeah, 0-6 in their matches, the best of 3 matches against this Ascent roster. They're looking to take down the first one here at LAN when it's most important.
Lucas really fast to mid there, actually doing a lot of damage early on to Ascent. Pauly in deep. Credudo, the first player that actually goes down to a bomb from Gink, and Papi's in behind, taking down Connor. Actually, he does go up drop down and takes down Connor. That's very crucial. But the collapse on the side of Ascent, they just kill everybody. Seeds does stay alive, and it's only Pauly and Domo left. But that's a good follow-up. At least they take down both scouts and Papi.
Yes,
so
staying alive, really the reason behind bringing that mid there. Both of his players were so low, but him being alive manages to get them arrowed up. Makes them win out that fight in the end when Connor can't heal because he's dead. So with the full advantage, they're going to be rolling straight into second by the looks of it. Papi opting to take them through big door, while Ascent are just setting it up on last. Domo's putting some stickies into a lobby in that cheeky spot in the door. Although Feint are already fully in, they're going through main. Are you going to see the shutter door as Lucas trying to take down the sentry?
Does take
Pyro
down.
Is denying it pretty well so far. Now Polygon getting bombed by Papi, and Tomas will go down. They need to play the point here to try and win this round out, but Zebasai is guarding it from behind.
Stickies are cleared off the point, but there is no such thing on the point there. Tomas is still in water fighting Zebasai, maybe trying to get something to work here, but the heavy
Tomas
cleanup
is up behind the point. He's taking the 1v1 Zebasai, but Freddy dropping down to keep it safe.
Just the cleanup by the heavy there was really what made the tail end of that fight happen. It just cleaned up all the damage onto Classy and Papi and Lucas and just destroyed all of them at the end of the day. But
we're in the complete reverse situation of where we were just a second ago. All the Feint down now. Connor with the big charge advantage. They're going to be rolling that into mid and hoping to get second with it too if they can move fast enough. They're going to be taking this through a big door as well with the scout by the looks of it.
yeah,
They actually do finish off this cap first. Seed's now actually getting his Uber charge up in time, so they're going to be moving close. Ascent just going to let this advantage go.
Seeing what they can do, looking to peek through the big door here a little bit, maybe make something happen. Both teams playing again very carefully so far, playing very, methodically.
I wonder if that was a disagreement with the calling styles on Ascent. Obviously they've been switching up their main cores so much, it's tricky to know what's what on this team. Actually, Papi forwards onto Domo, does manage to get the kill. Thomas cleaning up on middle as well.
And they have to pop off, yeah, there's the Uber exchange.
Yeah.
And it's going to favor Feint right now. Ams and Connor, the only people alive, they do escape, but a way better situation for Feint as they only lose Lucas there after that counter-sack play. And they're going to be retaking mid, probably also going to be trying to take it into second here with Zebasai being the only player up there, trying to just, slow them down a little bit. Ams and
straight Connor gets that kill, and also Ams going down. Zebasai's trying to make something happen from behind, but they already know he's there. Gink's going to be trying to stop him as he bombs in. Polygon also with the follow-up, but nothing's working out for Ascent here. He will eventually trade with Papi, but a trade isn't good enough when Credu's your only player alive on last. Feint going to be rolling in already. Thomas going straight for this point, doing all the damage, takes down Credu, takes down everyone.
Okay, clean.
That's how the point.
Clean. They just kill everybody on second. Only one player alive, immediately take it into last. Very cleanly, very nicely done by Feint there. That's a first round for them. In our final map.
Yeah,
let's see.
Also,
yeah, only 4 minutes once.
Got it in 4 minutes rather than our usual 20 that was happening last round or something crazy like that.
Yeah, let's see what the second mid holds for us here with this map of Gully Wash. Domo doing a lot of nice piping there at the start, but getting pressured out eventually. Zebasai now moving forward a little bit as well. Poly already in deep as well, just trying to lay down the damage. Ultimately getting taken down though. Papi gets taken down on the side of Feint in the meantime, and Gink is in behind, getting cleaned up as well.
This mid is so strange. Ascent spent most of it not at mid. They had the 1 kill advantage and were just getting chased out by Gink, but now eventually they have managed to take those soldiers down, but Feint have got control of the point in the meantime while Ascent went to leave the battle. So both teams just going to be spamming each other over the point here. But now Seeds and Connor both going to get their recharges shortly.
Just spamming each other out there, pressuring Ascent out of the choke there now. Feint finally in control of the mid area. No longer any fighting happening there, and they're going to be looking to move forward immediately. Lucas leading the charge in big door here, seeing if he can get some frags down. Lots of damage onto Credu there. Credu actually going extremely low. Ooh.
Icon to Connor. So Connor's down weak on the point here.
There was a bomb in by Papi as well. He managed to do a little bit of splash onto Connor, but did not manage to clean him up. That could have been crucial. Very nice coordination by the two of them. If they had actually picked up Connor, that would have been huge. So even just the pressure is enough to keep Ascent on their toes right now. As Feint, they're waiting for Papi. He's actually coming up with the battalion's backup. He likes to do that sometimes. So let's see what he tries to do with this. I guess they're expecting a little bit of a stalemate in this situation, which is why he's on the banner. And we have Credu on the sniper as well. Credu sniper on Gully Wash in the big door.
Yeah,
probably
seeing it slow down, but I like how Papi switches up these banners dependent on maps and position.
Oh, he's peeking deep as well. Tries to get a shot on Seeds, does not manage to connect it though. The hero shot didn't quite work out that time, and now they're well aware of Credu's sniper, so they're not going to be giving him any angles at all.
Yeah, Gink already getting in position to lock down that big door, as you can see there, but as I was about to say, Papi has gone on the battalions instead, because this is a much easier position for him to be doing a trade and a repush. Before, obviously, on Sunshine, we were seeing him on the buff banner, which might be a bit easier to use just as a sack. Going for your bomb with mini crits makes it way easier to force off the medic, whereas here, it's not really great for sacking on Gully Wash. You've got to get around a lot of corners to even find your target. So Lucas takes down Zebasai on the flank in the meantime. Papi's now going to be taking this opportunity to get around the corner, try and do some damage and build this battalion's up, which he does have. So we should be seeing the trade anytime now from Feint Gaming.
He'll be trying to use that battalions probably after the Uber. Yep, the exchange comes out immediately. Seeds being the first to pop off. Connor not even using his Uber yet at all. Not feeling any pressure whatsoever. Not at all. They're not pressuring. Credu gets a nice headshot onto Classy there, just to clean him up after the Uber. And yeah, I think Ascent are going to be repushing here.
It's all gone wrong. You can't trade if you don't force off the other team's Uber. So Papi instead is going to be using this battalion just to try and hold mid, at least for now. They do take down Amps in the choke. early, which is good, but Connor still hasn't used his Ubercharge. They'll still have opportunities, and Tomas going down in the meantime to Freddy, who's taking a wide angle in big door here. Now both down.
Nice shot onto Gink there as well.
This gets Connor.
Ooh. That's pretty huge. That's pretty fucking crucial there.
That's absolutely massive here. So, Ascent with no heals are going to be backing out of mid straight away. Seeds looks like he's waiting to get closer to Uber before going in. They're being very, very cautious of all these hiders. They know that Seeds is priority target #1 right now. Credu is watching. He's the one they need to watch out for from big door. He just gets a body shot onto a soldier and manages to get back. So Feint going to be taking control of mid. They still have this Uber charge. It looks like Ascent are just giving up second as well. They're building up a sentry on last. They're completely out of lobby. And if Feint notice this, they could just leave someone capping and go straight into last with this Uber charge. It looks like that's what they're going to do here.
Oh, Credu rolling very far forward in river. They're actually looking to get an angle into lobby. Does not end up actually doing that, as Feint are aware that there's maybe still a sniper around, and they're going to be backing out into last now. Feint rolling forward immediately, using the Uber through river, seeing if they can get onto the point. Connor coming up on his own Uber very soon though, and Feint are just not finding the flags early enough. Domo being the only player they take down, finally taking on Polygon. Poppy dies though, and that's the Uber coming out of the side of Connor now, and they're going to be able to just pick them out.
Still going to be great for them. They can just get out and re-push after this Uber fades. They have the kills on their side. Classy still messing around in Sneaky will be distracting everyone for quite a while, long enough to throw Gink to them. But bombing into a heavy isn't going to work. And why is Seeds all alone down there?
That's a strange place for a medic to be.
Seeds just waltzes in from main and gets taken down. So now it's going to be a very, very sizable advantage for Connor, as Tomas hiding in the forward spawn in case Ascent tried to come through big door here. He might be able to get a sneaky pick to equalize this out after Seeds has died.
We'll have to see. Ascent moving forward here through the big door, exactly where Tomas wants them to be. And that being said, he did actually move back a little bit. So he's going to commit to the sniper, but he's not going to be in the forward spawn watching that way anymore. He's going to be trying to take a nice shot onto Amps there. And it's going to be just that's going to be all they're doing. They're just going to put a little bit of pressure on and then back off, because they still have that Uber disat. They still want to not lose this just yet. Ooh, it does clean up Amps with that body shot there, so that's going to hold them a little bit.
And obviously Amps wants to take the absolute brute force Ubers straight into people, so now that he's dead, they might just let this advantage go, as Seeds does get his Uber up finally. Tomas going to be peeking through a different angle into mid.
He's not finding anybody. Ascent, they're playing around it, especially now that they've lost a player. So they're just going to be holding nice and passively, making sure that they do not get their heads popped off by Tomas. So let's see if he can be the one, the X factor for his team here, the one that actually makes the play instead of Gink for once. Who knows? Feint, yeah, they're just holding passively.
Trade here, they're getting ready. They pop through 2 players in this Uber. Seeds does use off. It's only onto Lucas. It's considerably better, and he's trapping the players in. Polygon gets taken down. Am's going to get cleaned up.
Trying to get out. He actually gets out.
He manages to get out. Lucas fighting Domo in the choke, though, will come out on the worst end of that as he does go down. Now Am's running all the way through again, will get cleaned up, but it's 3 picks for Feint, so they're going to be rolling into mid, coming off the back of this Ubercharge exchange.
Seeds went dangerously lower towards the tail end there, and like if Domo just got like a cheeky sticky and like a lucky one, he could have easily cleaned them up. But the fact that Seeds lives there as well just means that the heals are going to be coming rolling forward for Feint here, and the player advantage is going to allow them to take mid, as Ascent are going to be trying to set up on second. Tomas, body shot onto Zeto's side there, and he's going to be looking to follow up, maybe get a little bit of a kill here. He's really looking to just make something happen. He's been on a sniper for so long now without really accomplishing much beyond 1 kill onto Ams, and it's starting to get to the point where like he's a critical mass. Like he's not achieved much on the sniper yet, and he might want to consider switching off sooner than later. Then again, they are round up, so
if they want to be boring, they can hang around, but we know how Feint plays these situations. They're definitely going to want to be getting all the way into last and get as big of a buffer as they can to really remain safe, because otherwise it could just take one slip up to get back on their own last and find themselves at risk. So Tomas still making space in the big door area, but in the meantime that allows Ascent to come through choke. Just Polygon and Amps there trying to make something happen.
Tomas he's looking for these shots. He's scanning around, scanning the area. He did spot Connor for a second there, but obviously Connor now in a way safer position. If only Thomas had actually gone for the hero shot, who knows? He's really just looking to make something happen. It's all on the back of him for Feint. Feint are just banking on him making something happen at this point, and obviously Ascent are aware of that, and they're gonna like to not have him do that. So
Demo's just putting all these sticks down on the floor, not letting anyone get close. He does get the body shot on Zebasai once again, but Zebasai's just playing inside that shutter door. He's got a pack on a 10-second cooldown to go and collect every time he takes that body shot. It's not going to be doing much unless Thomas can find a head.
And that's what he should be looking for. That's what you should hit as a sniper. Usually you want to go for the head. Just shoot the head, am I right? Lol, forehead. So
yeah, I want to see Pappy try and do something with the banners again. Maybe if they could get a proper...
that being said, oh no, the collapse. Ging just killing 2 people and choke might be enough, and then Thomas finally actually gets the headshot onto Zebasai after 5 minutes.
So there's no pressure anymore here. Thomas gets the angle, and there is an overcharge forced off. Seeds doesn't have to use their either.
Does he? Oh, he cleans up Domo as well, and Connor and Credo are the only players alive. Credo getting taken down, Connor getting taken down. It's essentially a vibe from Ascent, and Feint still have their Uber to hang on to second and maybe take it into last here as Ascent try to stabilize. Immediately, Polly trying to bomb in, obviously getting absolutely denied, not going anywhere. Gink erecting a no-flying zone, having declared that this is not where you should be in the air. Lucas immediately trying to roll forward into last, going dangerous a little before getting popped on. And they're just trapping players in spawn, try to get taken down on the heavy. Feint should just be walking on the point now. They're cleaning up the players. There's only 2 people alive. It's only Connor on the pyro, actually, interestingly enough. You don't need a medic. You can have the pyro. Yeah, that's gonna... Oh, actually, Polly doing a lot of damage. Okay, finally. They cap it off.
Yeah, really great from Ascent. Really just no one left alive. No, really great from Feint, sorry. No one left alive on Ascent. After that fight on second, they were all just respawning one by one and getting taken out by that Uber onto the scouts from Feint. So...
Very clean. Very clean, honestly.
Very clean.
Forcing Connor to go pyro, that's a pretty interesting one, so yeah.
All of that bunch.
Let's see how they handle this third mid. Polly going high immediately before opting to back off again. And Zeba actually getting taken down below.
Looks like he wants to drop down behind.
Gink onto Domo there though. Papi trying to get onto Connor, does not manage to. Credo gets cleaned up though. And yeah, that's going to be in 1 mid for a Feint here. They're actually chasing down as well, seeing if they can find Ams and Connor. Ams is onto Seeds.
Ahead of his...
Oh no!
Seeds! Oh, he walks a bit too far ahead of his scout, and then he was at risk to those meat shots from Ams. That was a huge cleanup. That's a massive advantage just thrown down the drain from Feint. Ascent could be able to come back from this. Connor's getting his spawns up at exactly the same time as Seeds, so they will be able to contest second.
They will be able to. That's very unfortunate. You hate to see it. Just a little bit too far forward. Gets meat shot down by Ams. You know, he's having a little bit of a stride there with his wonderful meat shots. So yeah, like it sucks. It sucks, and Feint won't be able to easily take second now. They're gonna be doing this more traditionally again, just like we saw for the last round. Credo on the sniper as well. It's the first time I think actually we're seeing him sniper on this map. In this map so far. So it's actually he's been taming himself a little bit, I think. Actually no, it's not the first time. It's the second time. But yeah, he's gonna be looking to get another peek on here. Maybe gonna.
Oh, he sees Seeds. Oh, he flicks just into the wall. It looked like.
Very upset about that one. You can tell he does not like that one. Kovacs not working out quite as well for that one. I mean, it probably could have connected if there wasn't a literal wall in the way of that bullet. But
Seeds should be seeing this coming. He should have been not exposing himself really. He's already made one critical mistake, which like Ants made a huge play. Hopefully he's not gone on tilt. He is prone to get upset when he's not performing at his best.
He is very resistant to that sometimes, but we'll have to see. Credo getting spammed a lot before he finally decides to back off. And yeah, it's all down to Credo really here for Ascent. They are in the crunch time now. They're 2 rounds down. They want to make something happen here. They want to actually contest this, want to retake this, and
Credo's going all the way.
Oh!
Pappy's been waiting for him, but Credo gets the nice surf out there. Pappy was trying to bait that in for the entry kill onto the sniper, but
it's going to be rotating over again. It's going to be rotating over to the big door. Going very far forward immediately before getting a headshot onto Gink there, actually. And trying to find one onto Lucas as well. It's not going to happen, though. And now he's finding himself yet again backed up into the corner. Gink just rotating, trying to bait him out, not getting the headshot onto that, and yeah.
I saw Gink doing that earlier. I was wondering if it was in purpose or not. But
He gets classy, at the very least. But is that enough? Is a scout kill enough?
I don't think a scout kill is enough, but it's certainly enough for Predator to take wider angles with one less player on the Feint team. Classy might even. Oh, Gink.
Oh!
Again,
Clean up. Oh, but Lucas, the trap kills Domo. And that's no demo. Credit also getting dangerously low again. Lucas now rolling forward, doing a lot of damage, forcing out the Uber essentially out of Connor so he doesn't drop all of his players. Obviously, Seeds responding with an Uber on his own side, and Zebo's side basically caught in.
Tomas blocking Zebasai in this Uber. They get another brilliant pick on the end of it, but there's a fight happening on second where Pappy's gone low already. Polygon just about gets cleaned up by Classy there.
We have Ams on the low ground here with Connor, and we also have Predu still on the sniper up above, trying to get some shots off. He does not kill anybody, but everybody's getting cleaned up anyway. He cleans up Classy, I guess, and he's trying to find Seeds too. Seeds trying to go out of choke here. He's absolutely...
Here. I don't think there's
can he kill Ams?
Early. No way.
He might kill Ams. Or he might just...
Oh my god, Seeds!
Oh, Predu cleans him up, and he cleans up Gink. No, Poppy, sorry. Yeah, that's gonna be a nail in the coffin for that one. Ascent will take mid.
I thought for a second Seeds was gonna prove me wrong.
He was close.
He was very close, but at the end of the day, maybe kill binding earlier would have been the good play, seeing as now he is giving Connor a slight advantage. He's got 30% ad over Seeds here. They're all setting up on last. They've got Tomas on sniper, Predo on sniper on the other team. Classy obviously setting up the engineer that is pretty much required for Gully Wash at this point.
So let's see how they approach this last hold, or much rather how it's approach the last push. How they want to try to break this hold at all, because they do know about their slight ad. They might think that it's bigger than it actually is, given the fact that, you know, like Seeds respond late, but given the fact that Connor wasn't healing for a long time, maybe they might think it's bigger than it actually is. And
it's 25%. Let's see if they want to go with it. Looks like they're going through the shutter right now into last.
Yeah, they are indeed going to go in immediately. Feint playing their very signature thing here, just everybody walking into spawn. At least some of them, Lucas and Gink, do get taken down, and so does Poppy. It's only 3 players up on the side of Feint. Tomas gets headshot on the point. Credu's still on the sniper. The Pyro's just in, Classy running forward, and it's only Seeds alive, trying to keep the point alive. He does have the Uber to delay it a little bit longer, but he gets pressured off, and that's a round for Ascent.
Ascent starting to mount the comeback. It's been mistake after mistake from Feint.
They're trying. There's some cracks running into that wall, into that facade of Feint, and those cracks are slowly starting to crumble. And it's not looking too good. If Ascent can keep up this momentum, then we might see a few more rounds. Let's see if that comes true for this 4th mid here. Domo immediately doing a lot of damage off the scout there before he manages to back off. Zebo going high. Poly trying to bomb and gets taken down by Tomas though. Zebo actually onto Seeds. A lot of damage, but does not get the kill. Seeds gets out with his life, and Connor's the only player alive on Ascent. Not getting chased.
Good fight from Feint. They are trying to chase him, but he's so far out. Gink is the only one really in position to get onto him. Connor's already in the spawn. Nice and safe. And it is even for these teams for last now.
For now, but obviously Feint having decisively won that mid. Very, very, very good play by them. Absolutely just destroying everyone, cleaning up the damage very quickly, and they're going to be trying to roll forward here as well. They do have actually got a slight ad because Connor was not building with anybody for a while, considering he was alone, so it doesn't look like they're going to be playing off the back of that. But they will definitely try to take this last. Very defensive sentry placement.
Also requested a pause in chat.
Well, so interesting.
Yeah, looks like we're going to be going to a pause here. Obviously, Ascent on the back foot right now. They have their sentry and their pyro set up. They are needing to make a play out of last, so I don't know if I like seeing that to stop the sacks as much as I'd like to see a sniper or something to get out, really take the game into your own hands. And really they need to all wake up a bit. Ams is being really the standout player right now. Ams is doing absolute work in all the team fights. He's got several players so low in those critical situations that no one else has really been able to follow up on. And obviously making those huge plays onto Seeds as well earlier. So if everyone else can step it up to Ams's level, Ascent could definitely overcome here.
Yeah, but Feint obviously in the driver's seat, still a round up. They have Ascent with their backs against the wall, and it's looking a little scary for Ascent right now, especially because they have to hold last. I mean, this could go either way. We've seen both teams botch last pushes time and time again, so anything could really happen. But yeah,
well,
as the
aren't even Ubers,
pause comes out,
so a push straight away. The sentry's still on.
Oh, never mind, it's gone.
Oh, it disappeared
just as you say that, just as you propose they should have a sniper, they have a sniper.
They've been listening in. Tuning the screen.
Well, Credu's going to be trying to snipe from main here. Feint naturally aware that Lucas just taunting to peek around the corner a little bit, I assume, just to see when people might be near his sticky bombs. He can't detonate them, but he can know.
I think he's trying to spot out where the sniper is to call for his team there. Gink is all the way in onto last now. This sentry's down, he's onto Connor. Oh!
Gets him!
What an air shot from Gink, I think, onto the roof there.
Yeah.
Managing to splash Connor down.
And that's going to be enough. That's going to be what Feint were looking for, the opening that they needed. Gink, absolutely huge sack play there. Lucas does get taken down, but that
all the frags are good. Ascent though. Classy's going to be playing the point from behind. They need to block this now. Everyone's running onto the point from ahead as well. And Feint get that cap off the back of King Tai with a huge drop bombing in onto Connor there. They realized why you have to have that sentry up.
They realized as soon as there was only the sniper, they realized, wait, there's no sentry. I'm just going to jump in, and that's what Gink did. He just jumps in, absolutely nuts all over Connor, and he's gone. And that's what they needed.
A bit of revenge on Connor after he was teasing him earlier. Connor, you good, bro?
So let's see. Maybe he's doing good. You never know. They could still very much put up a fight here as we're headed into our 5th round. Polly doing a lot of damage onto Lucas, taking him down, and also getting seeds very low. And with Thomas and Gink down now, that's a 1 mid for Ascent so far. And maybe they're going to be looking to keep rolling it forward as well, as Feint are on the back foot, already out to their last, actually.
Yeah, just leaving Freddy to catch as all the rest of Ascent taking all the ground on second. Thomas going to be checking if they're doing any sniper plays. He comes up on Spy. Classy setting up the engineer already. And it is even, so we should see it slowing down here whilst Ascent just kind of clear out lobby, check for any sticks that Lucas might be hiding.
Not looking to make the same mistake that Ascent made as well. They actually have a sentry up, and they have a sniper too. And I mean, they can afford to be very slow now. So again, Feint trying to control the pace of the game, trying to be in charge of what happens here. As Pauly tries to bomb in, gets onto Seeds, actually forces him off. The sentry just a level 1, unfortunately not denying him anywhere near enough with that. But yeah, that's bad. That's really bad. It's not as bad as Umatic dropping, but it's pretty bad regardless if you're trying to hold last.
Yeah, we're going to see Thomas switch up onto Pyro. He's going to have to reflect this Uber for a long time, or at least reflect everything off the sentry, as we've seen teams start to do now instead, to keep that sentry alive for as long as possible.
Well, it really just depends on where Ascent decide to push you from. It looks like they're going to be going for nothing so far. They're playing it very passively. They're going for the shutter. Okay, they're going to be Ubering through the shutter. Just as Thomas is actually not ready for it. They do take down the sentry, but he's going to be ready to air blast regardless. Maybe take down some players. Gink is down. Thomas dangerously low, as is Lucas, and they take down Poppy too. And that's it. That's another round for Ascent.
That was so easy for Ascent.
Nobody walked on the point.
Oh, absolutely. All of Feint
nobody
just in spawn. I don't know why they had rotated back all together at that specific timing, but
looks like they just weren't ready for the push.
Yeah, Ascent literally ran into no resistance at all, and they had control of water, they had control of the high ground as well. So now Ascent coming into this 6th mid now.
Seeing if they can switch things up here, taking over a quick round off the back of that, maybe try to keep this momentum rolling. Zebasai in deep. Polygon getting taken down by Gink though, as does Domo getting taken down by Poppy. Poppy does pay with his life, but that's 2 soldiers down. 2 players down, sorry, on the side of Ascent, and only Poppy dying. Zebo finally getting taken down too. Lucas gets taken down, but Am's immediately cleaned up. Ooh. Yeah, that's Connor getting taken down as well. Both scouts chasing him. It's only Credu alive on very low health.
Oh,
he gets him!
Nice shot there onto Seeds, surfing the rocket around. Brilliant movement, brilliant aim, takes down Seeds in the end. And that is great for Ascent. Now Connor's going to be respawning, getting a slight advantage into this after a very great mid-fight from Feint. They dealt with all the bombers perfectly. Polygon got straight in on top of them whilst they were all stuck in elbow, but he didn't manage to get any of the kills. They cleaned up Zebasai, who was up from behind really easily as well.
But now Ascent coming in for this refight on mid with Neil Team having Uber.
And Lucas going dangerously low there for the start. Polly trying to bomb in, gets taken down again. Poppy immediately responding, takes down Zebo. Classy also taken down in the scramble, but that's no soldiers for Ascent at all. There's absolutely no aggression they can pull now. They're rotating over to Big Door, knowing that Lucas is the only player to confront them there so far. But yeah, Ascent are going to be having to back off here and just be a little bit more passive, as there's nothing they can do while waiting for their soldiers. Looking to maybe roll forward here a little bit as have Am's shooting stickies as a pastime. Ooh, nice fight by Domo. Does not get the kill though. Papi does live with 5 HP. He's caught an elbow, but nobody's cleaning him up, so he is going to live. Unfortunately,
the feint didn't go into second there off the 2 soldier picks that they had before, but now obviously having the Domo pick is even better. Polygon bombing forward is going to deny Pappy off and choke. Freddy looks like he wants to take some ground. They've actually sent Polygon up drop down. He has been spotted out by Classy, so...
Also, Zebusai has been taken down while trying to go for a sack here, so Poly now trying to get onto Seeds. Doesn't beat his last rocket, unfortunately. So Connor's going to be popping off his Uber, and Seeds has the way better one. And yeah, that's going to be just feint pushing Ascent back again. I feel like they're just going to try to hold now. I think they're not going to try to push anything. Like with the way they're playing right now.
Minutes left. That's why they're not too keen to getting on to second, as if they can hold this without losing the round, it'll be great for them.
Yeah.
Seeds really finessing the soldiers there, taking 0 damage from the 3 rockets that were fired at him.
Very unfortunate for Polygon though. You saw him so desperately trying to get Seeds to force early, but it just didn't happen, and that's unfortunately how that push went down. As yeah, Fader just going to be trying to hold on to this for as long as possible. Why risk pushing when the time's in your favor, as Ams gets taken down by the trap immediately?
Yeah, Ascent all started holding W into Big Door. As soon as they lose Ams to the trap, they all start holding S. Ams really is the powerful force that they want to lead their Uber with, and that when he's not there, they really seem lost with him.
They really do. They need that guiding voice of that wonderful Finnish man. However, unfortunately, it's hard to lead somebody when you're dead. So that's a problem. Let's see. Yeah, feint again, just playing really passively. Am's trying to go in, going on to 4H.
Oh,
Domo getting denied.
Ginked in the air. Am's
Ginkster
really low as well. They're going to back out now off that demo pick. And feint, they look like they might be willing to leave mid. Happy's getting taken down low.
Maybe not. They're gonna be very, very careful here, obviously. Again, Ascent, they have to make a move. They're moving in for choke.
Gink. They drop Gink from the Uber. Seeds manages to keep Tomas and Pappy alive at the least. Polygon's getting caught off in choke as well by Tomas there, cleaned up. So Pappy holding down the choke with Tomas still as Ams comes in for the repush. The 2 scouts against him, they're going to prove too strong. Freddy and Ams taking him down. Everyone's running out of choke for feint. They are going to give up the mid fight, but Classy is in behind. He could cause some chaos.
He could. He's definitely going to distract at least one player. He's got, I believe it's one of the scouts distracted. Oh, Ams actually dies while trying to push through choke. He gets cleaned up by Tomas, and that's going to stunt them a little bit.
Meantime, whilst everyone's fighting over here on the second, Freddy does take down Lucas, which is pretty critical. He does get a meat shot on Seeds as well, going down low with 25 health. But all the other frags are falling feint here. Yeah, now
I think that's just it. That
mid as well.
That seals the fate here. It's 30 seconds left, and unfortunately, Ascent could not keep their momentum rolling forward. They were really trying, but
they've broken the curse, Cerny.
They have broken the curse.
They've
choked this curse.
Beaten Ascent. They're going to get into the lower bracket final against 7. There's one last Uber trade here on mid, seeing if anyone can get anything done. Connor got a saw.
He got a saw. That's what he's looking for. And yep, that's going to be goalie wash. Going in the favor of feint Gaming.
That's going to be that, yeah. Feint Gaming getting into the lower bracket final off of a very close last 2 maps. Rolling through process completely unharmed at the start of this series, but then managing to slightly close it out just in a nail-biting game against Ascent there. They have finally broken their curse, and we get to see them rematch against 7 next round, which has really been like their main competitor for the last seasons.
Absolutely. That's a 4th place finish as well for Ascent EU.
Yeah.
Nothing too shabby. I mean, we've been saying this all LAN. The top 4 could be shuffled anyway, so still a convincing performance so far. But we'll have it be discussed by the men with the big brains. TurboTabs Omrak and Dumtum.
Turbo tabs.
Welcome back. Yeah, very nice, very nice. Okay, welcome back to the Big Brain analyst desk. It's I, Turbo Tabs, the biggest brain of them all. I've got slightly smaller brain Omrak, and I've got big brain Dumtum.
Wow.
Yeah, I said it. Anyway, boys, it was gully wash, but it wasn't a whitewash. It was a fantastic game to watch, really. It was really quite close by the standards of the gully washes we've seen so far, and now the lower bracket's just gone a little less lower, as obviously Feint Gaming has been crowned as the nominated champion to take on 7 in the lower bracket final. But before we get into all of that, let's talk about this gully wash in particular. Now, I've got the logs right here. Boop. And we'll probably get those on the stream as well. But guys, use the logs, use your recollection from like what you've seen in the match so far. What do you want to talk about this gully wash map?
Well, without even looking at the logs, I think massive props were sent for bridging the gap that they had with Feint, because what we saw from yesterday, it looked like Ascent was below Feint in terms of skill, in terms of performance throughout the LAN, but they really pulled it off on this really good on the series of this best of 3. And before anything else, I think this is really impressive, the way that they were able to bounce back after their mishaps yesterday and to almost make it through the next round in the lower bracket.
All right, Dumtum, literally the floor is open to you. You can talk about logs, you can talk about a point in the game, you can talk about a certain thing that's impressed you from one of these teams. What do you want to talk about?
I think it was really interesting how this was like really a mixed-paced game, for lack of a better term. Like there were moments where just like nothing happened for like 5 minutes. The stalemate was just breaking, was not breaking at all for either side. And then there were moments where it just went back and forth really quickly. And in those situations, both teams heavily relied on exchanges quite a bit. Out of Ascent, that's not necessarily too surprising. Although with how they played the first 2 maps, maybe a little bit, those maps were a little bit slower. And for Feint, it's, I would say, even highly surprising to see them like resort to exchanges a lot like this, which just goes to show that Ascent really pushed them to the limit here. They constantly had to try new things out over the course of the game to just close the map out just barely in the end.
All right, boys. Who was picking up their game in that gully wash map? Like, they might have been popping off in the first map, but they definitely weren't popping off in the second. But who was doing well on this gully wash map?
Both Credo and Thomas were doing really well, both scouts. Funnily enough, one is playing Pocket Scout for Feint, the other one is playing Flank Scout for Ascent. So it's not even like there's a pattern. It's really about individual performances here. And I think both of them really pulled it off. Credo hit some crazy shot on Sniper as usual. Maybe what was lacking for him at the very first map of this series. But yeah, this guy played really well. But the combo from Ascent maybe struggled a bit more. And I want to put that on the fact that as they were behind right from the start, or pretty much from the start, playing from behind when you have to go back, when you have to take hard trades, that's why sometimes your numbers don't look really good, because it's a tough situation to get out of from.
Now, Dumtum, we saw a lot of snipers throughout the entire match, not just this gully wash map, and so we got kind of a preview between like what must have been 4 players swapping out from all these sniper classes and stuff like that. Who jumped out as you as like the best sniper throughout all that? And to illustrate this, I'll even get those additional logs up.
It was interesting because, like you said, so many people played Snapper. Credo definitely the most out of all of them. For Feint, it was just like short situations where Thomas or Gang picked up the Snapper rifle. And I think all 3 did really well. Obviously, you have to command Credo for, if you play that much Sniper, consistency has to be there. You have to hit like all the opportunities you get. Otherwise, you become dead weight for your team fairly quickly. He definitely pulled his weight, where I think it was Gink and Thomas that played Sniper at different times. They only had like short moments, and they still made work with those as well. So it like was very different situations for these 2 teams here with the Sniper.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I felt like Credo put in the workload and he just gets the best sniper just because of how much work he was doing on Sniper. But I felt Gink and Thomas were just like bang for buck. Like the times they were on Sniper, they completed their objective. Let's go on to the next bit. Let's switch off from Sniper and go on to the moving on. Anyway, we
have a brain after all.
I do have a brain after all. I know. I feel like I have to prove myself now that you've called me a small brain. Anyway, we're moving on to the next the lower bracket final, and it's going to be 7 versus Feint Gaming. And before we even get into this, guys, are you happy that Feint Gaming is the one to take on 7 here? Do you think they have the best shot here, or would you have preferred the Ascent EU to take another shot?
I'm happy it's saying for two reasons. First, for the sake of variety, because in online we've seen Ascent against 7 for the last 2 or 3 seasons, so it's good that we have someone else. And from what we've seen yesterday, it looks like Feint has a better shot because 7 kind of rolled against Ascent EU yesterday. So just for these 2 reasons, I think Feint makes a good competitor for 7.
Do I even need to ask you, Mr. Feint gaming coach, you know, are you not a little biased here, or are you happy for you boys?
I mean, obviously I'm happy for the Feint boys. They did really well, and like Omric already said, they have probably the better shot at 7. 7 just doesn't quite have them on download yet, like they have Ascent for the longest time now. And this weekend alone showed again that 7 kept getting the upper hand fairly convincingly against Ascent. Not so much about Ascent NA or Feint Gaming for that matter. So it's going to be really interesting between those two, and both of them really want to win this. That's what I hear. They have the one more challenge ahead of them though.
Yeah.
And Feint is also the last team that beat 7 online.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good saying.
All right, so sadly with Feint Gaming going up, that means someone has to fall out of the competition. That is Ascent.eu, and I mean, I just want to close out the show on a positive note for Ascent.eu, because they haven't been playing bad TF2. It's been very close. It's been the closest Insomnia that, in my memory at least, and I've been coming to a lot of these Insomnias. So is there any sort of things that you think that Ascent.eu should be proud of, taken away from this competition on Bragg?
Well, given how stacked the level is at this LAN, I think being 4th in itself is an accomplishment. Cerny mentioned before handing over the mic that you could shuffle the 4 positions and it would make sense. So I think just that statement alone shows that it's really small details that in the end make the difference, of course, but if not for these details, Ascent play really, really well, and they can be proud of themselves. Of course, they're going to be disappointed, but with a bit of a step back. They had really good moments.
Now, Dum-Tum, we're going to be going to a break soon. We're going to be setting up for our next low bracket final. Why do you think people should stick around for that Feint Gaming versus 7 match? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be great?
I mean, if TF2 is anything to go by, then it's going to be a hell of a match, right? We had the double golden cap finish in the regular season between the two. They never got the second chance. Ascent stopped them from getting to them in the playoffs. So this is one that Feint probably has been looking forward to. They said they respect 7 a lot as opponents. They know what they're capable of, but they've done it before and they want to do it again.
All right, excellent. Thank you very much, Ombrack. Thank you very much, Dum-Tum. And thank you, me, Turbotabs here, your host. And we'll be heading over to a break, and then we'll be going into our low bracket final 7 versus Feint Gaming. We'll see you soon.
Standing here alone, and no one you